All right. Hello, everyone. Let's get the show on the road. Rob, can you hear me? Hello, Rob. Uh-oh. Rob can't hear me. Hello, Rob. Is he frozen? Okay, just give us a second to clear up any technical difficulties. Let's see. I can wave. Hello. Can you hear me, Rob? Let's see. I don't know why he can't hear me. So just give us a moment here. Welcome to Morbid Symptoms, our first PERF series, Palestinian Excluding Radical Feminists. Can he hear me? Hello? Can you hear me, Rob? I can see you. Hi, everyone. You know, this is how the sausage gets made. I don't know what's going on with my curtain here either. Oh, well, it is what it is. Just moved this weekend. Hello, Rob. Robert, can you hear me? Oh, I hear something. He's frozen again. Hi? Oh, I think that works. Hello? I can hear you now.
I can't hear you.
Okay, hold on. Sorry, people. Let me text him in the private chat that I can hear him. I can hear.
Now I can.
Okay, cool. I can see and hear you, and you can see and hear me.
That's right.
Oh my God. Hello.
We did it. We made it.
Yes. The curtains, well, we just moved houses and the curtains are the curtains. So anyway, welcome everybody to Morbid Symptoms, Rubble of Empires cross stream. Probably, unfortunately, a very long series. There's lots of PERFs, lots of crazy PERFs out there to highlight. Public ones, yeah. We're not interested in targeting those who are, keep their PERF them to themselves. But those who are so prolific, the most prolific PERFs, we will be targeting you. Meaning just basically going over your positions and comments and how you respond to basic facts and logic, and having a bit of a fun. Why not? We got to have some comedic relief. Anyway, on that note, Rob, do you know what I forgot to do?
How is it for you? Are you am I dropping in and out with?
No, I can hear you. I can hear you and see you. Yeah.
Yep. All right.
Because I forgot to upload the slides. If you wouldn't mind just kind of taking over for like 2 minutes while I upload those slides.
Sure, no worries.
Okay,
I also put a bunch of videos from the Dollhouse episode they're in files. I didn't put them in the actual timeline.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Anyway, welcome everybody. Just give us a couple of moments to get everything in order.
Yeah.
It's been a bit of, you know how it is. Anyway, so I'm going to give over the mic to Rob for a couple of minutes, and he can talk about what led up to this episode in terms of the Dollhouse episode and his response to it, and Edie's well, we'll get to that. It's good fun. Okay, I'll be back in a moment.
Okay. Nope. There I go. Why is that not coming up?
Hey, Rob, I can see and hear you.
Yep. So, okay. No worries. Maybe it's just on my end.
Just chat.
Yeah. Sure.
Chat to the people.
Chat to the people. Okay. Hey, everyone. Yeah. All right. So how did this come about? I had been pretty good, like, online friends with Kit Kowalski, who I sort of saw as being one of the more I guess lefty, but I don't know. We never really discussed like much politics outside of gender stuff. So maybe I was assuming more than I realized. But yeah, we were pretty good friends. And one of the things that we often discussed was that like we really need someone on the left to like, you know, step up and particularly in Australia and make it acceptable for people on the left to have these opinions, someone prominent. And we would kind of guess like, you know, who it could be. There's not a lot of figures. I mean, I'm not really that in tune with what is like mainstreams, but like Friendly Geordies is a YouTube channel that's one of the biggest like Australian political YouTube channels, and he's essentially like very committed to the Labor Party. So basically the Australian equivalent of the Democrats, and he is quite good, like in terms of, you know, I think maybe some of his politics are kind of shit, but like he's good in terms of the production value of the stuff that he puts out. He does make like convincing arguments for the Labor Party, and he anyway, we thought potentially he, like, basically if we could flip him, if he could come out pro GC, that would be a big significant thing. So these are the kinds of ideas that we would talk about. Anyway, what happened? We were so I started getting quite
Oh, Rob is frozen again, so I'm going to pick up from him. Yeah, so anyway, this is, what is this? I'm going to make this small so we can see this fantastic graphic here. Per Flight, Morbid Symptoms and Rubble of Empire presents. So, and today we're going to be focusing on Edie Wyatt, who we're calling, she never called herself this, but you'll get to understand why we think it's an apt analogy. The Arab whisperer from down under, who loves debate. She loves debate, Rob. You know, Edie loves debate. She loves debate between how right she is. Quite right or very right. Sorry, my accent. I don't mean to offend anybody. Yeah. So they have a dollhouse up. They have a doll. I guess Weedy. Maybe that's a good thing. Edie Wyatt. And Kit. I'll just say Kit. I can't remember her last name because I wasn't familiar with her until she popped up saying, "Don't be mean to Edie. Edie just loves Jesus," and I thought that was hilarious. I'm like, well, if she loves Jesus, she tweets. Her tweets make Jesus very sad. So I find that kind of interesting, and that and she's an evangelical, I guess, which I'm assuming a Christian Zionist evangelical. Not that all evangelicals are Christian Zionists, but most Christian Zionists are evangelical to a certain degree, at least. That's my understanding of it. But if you were to look at all like Jesus's isms, like how Jesus, I mean, you know, turn the other cheek, love thy neighbor, all this stuff. And then you look at what Edie, lover of Jesus, tweets about Palestinians in particular and Islam and Muslims in particular. I think Jesus would be unhappy with Edie, but I'm sure he would have the grace to forgive her and hope that at some point she perhaps takes her bigoted, crazy head out of her ass. But you know, I mean, if he can walk on water and turn bread into wine, Weedy can become less creepy. Anyway, so they did a podcast, and they didn't name you, but they shamed you, and or tried to, and then you responded to their shit takes basically, and. Mm-hmm. And then Edie went on a tirade, as I guess she does. She bitches and blocks. So a couple, maybe back in, I don't even know, maybe a year ago now, or maybe a little bit less than a year ago, she popped up on my other YouTube, my other X channel, my personal one, and was just talking some stupid trash. And then I went to respond, and she had already blocked me, but continued to like talk about. I think she calls me a Hamas fangirl. And he tries to shame Jennifer Billick and Julian Vigo because they dared to publish works of mine on their respective publications on Substack. And she's just, but, we're obsessed with her, even though she starts it. She likes to start fights. And then as soon as somebody pops back in to respond to her, I don't know if you guys can remember the Tweety Bird and the Looney Tunes, like, either Bugs Bunny or Tweety Bird would be like, you wouldn't hit a guy with glasses, would you? You wouldn't hit a Jesus lover, would you? Oh, I just want to protect my sex from being erased, and these crazy Islamists are coming after me. I might take a pill, Darvo Gaslight. She's just beyond. And I might sign beyond too, but this has been over 2 years of this bullshit. So I'm done with these bitches and these Mitches. I don't care. And anyone who tries to come and tone police me, I'm like, I'm done with you too. Yeah. So I'll try to keep the cursing to a minimum. I don't tend to be a huge cursor, but every once in a while, my very working class background comes out. I start talking like my grandpa who was a longshoreman, so pardon. Anyway, so on that note, this series, for those of you who don't know, PERF is Palestinian Excluding Radical Feminists, and it's a play on TERF. So TERFs were those, well, they weren't only feminists, but feminists, the first, they initially it was for people who like to pretend that men are women if they say so, women are men if they say so. And if those of us who pop up and say, hold on a second, there's no such thing as girl dick or female men or male women, like, you're a TERF, you're a bigot, blah, blah, blah. So a lot of us found each other online and in nooks and crannies saying, like, has the whole world gone mad? No one knows what a woman and a man are anymore. But subsequently, after October 7th happened, a lot of the people who of TERFs turned out to be raging PERFs and just saying the most craziest batshit stuff about not just Palestine, Israel, but about Islam in general and Muslims in general, just crazy shit. And it was like, what? And so we thought, like, okay, well, there's the total propaganda astroturfing. Let's let things calm down a bit. But a lot of people just kept on keeping on. Anyway, so the Palestinian Excluding Radical Feminist Femalist Frauds and Fiends were born. And here's a little outfit, these lovely suffragettes, but, quite committed. They're okay with certain types of male violence against women. It's not all male violence they're against.
No, they have a sacred caste of men. Yeah, which is one of the points that I brought up with Kelly J. Keane. But I did it with I was talking to Kit more recently, since all this has kind of blown up. We've been going back and forth a little bit, and I said something to the effect of, like, just take anything, like, of all the egregious male violence against women that has been committed by, like, the IDF and Zionists in general, like in history or like recently, just take one thing and respond to it authentically, as you should be able to, seeing, like, a woman get hurt unjustly, and just post it and say something, and say how shitty this is, and see what happens.
Well, because, how about femicide is bad? Infanticide is bad.
Well, here was the thing, because
shooting kids 350 times,
because she was trying to argue that she wasn't pro-Israel. And I was like, okay, let's do a little test. Let's take one bit of male violence and you condemn that on your timeline and see what happens. See if people just, like, react normally and go, oh, that's just Kit condemning any old, like, male violence against women. Or if people lose their fucking minds, because even if you don't claim to be pro-Israel, you de facto, people are expecting that of you, and you can tell by this fact. And then she was like, oh, well, maybe you could do it for me, and, like, as though I was trying to compel her to do it. And it's like, Well, then that settles it. Like, you can't, if you don't have a natural reaction against that kind of injustice happening, then clearly you have, a sacred cast of, you're a perf, and you have a sacred cast of men who can do whatever they want to women, so long as they're the right women. Or
the wrong women, yeah.
Or the wrong women, yeah.
Anyway, so
I did want to like actually kind of introduce this, as I was sort of doing just before you rocked up. Like, I'm not sure when it'll fit in, but there is actually like a prelude before this little fight that is actually
okay. But here's what I would like to do, Rob. I just have a little like perf in general.
Yeah, go for it.
And then we're gonna get into our spotlight on Weedy Edie. And I don't know if she smokes weed. It was a Freudian.
I doubt
why I called her Weedy. It could be Weedy, like she likes Wheaties. Yeah, she's
that's what I assumed.
Yeah, I mean, no judgment there. I mean, I think she would benefit from, but I'm team Mr.
What have I
Edie.
done?
I'm team Mr. Edie. If there is in fact a Mr. Edie, I feel for that man. Anyway, side note. So we're gonna do perf in general, and then we're gonna get into our spotlight, which is Edie Wyatt, and also, of course, by extension, the Dollhouse and what precipitated this and the fallout afterwards. We're gonna do some dramatic readings of her responses. And I'll try to whenever I try to do an accent, I fade in and out. So, but I like to it's a work in progress. So that's what we're going to do. And so you'll have plenty of opportunity to do your preamble, which is like one of the main points of doing this. So we definitely don't want to miss that. Okay, so Bessie Braddock, and this is I just picked out. I mean, you can do. If you go to most gender, what they call GCs, gender criticals, whether they be gender critical or ultra, and you type in Hamas or Israel, probably 95% you'll get stuff like this. Still to this day, this is not just from October 8th. After the astroturfing of junk drawer Mossad atrocity porn. So Bessie Braddock. It's not genocide when every effort is made to avoid civilian deaths. If Hamas didn't use civilians as human shields, the loss of life would be significantly less. So again, this is the special cast thing that the Israel's blameless. Doesn't matter who the IDF or Shin Bet kills, rapes, assaults, tortures, burns alive, desecrates the grave of. Doesn't matter. Because we all know who's ultimately to blame. Okay. So this would be their response to everything. Hamas! And so, which is why another theme of mine I'm not going to get too much into tonight, but I'm sure those of you, anybody who's familiar with Zionism and familiar with feminism, how feminists treat women who are non-compliant at all, you'll realize why this is a theme of mine, my critique of feminism and why feminism is cooked. So feminism is Zionism, change my mind. And anybody who wants to come on and make the argument that this is a incredibly unfair analogy, please contact me. We'll have you on. So here's Mother Turf. And again, when you try to, so this isn't my first response, because at least the first 6 months or so, you would try to respond with like facts and logic and historical record and just trying to get some nuance and whatnot. And typically you would get, some sort of response like, oh, you don't want to have any rights, or you just want a hijab and no rights, and anything not to actually talk about what's going on in Palestine. They'd want to like divert over to that. Like, anytime if you have an issue with Israel, really you're pro burqa or some shit like that. And so Mother Turf is like, you want a hijab and zero rights, right? And I'm like, I oppose lunatic protection racket colonies' genocidal campaign that includes massacring complete families, sniping toddlers, and celebrating IOF, so Israeli Offense Force or occupation force soldiers that annually rape Palestinian prisoners to death on live TV. And a perf genocide defender will respond, you want a hijab and zero rights, right? Because they're stupid. But they're also drunk on power, because when you have when you are in line with the power position, you can get away with shit like this. Yeah. So that's another thing, which is very TRA. And so here's Julie Bindel, PERF, used to be sympathetic to the Palestinian plight, but has since totally perfed out. She tweeted on October 7th, I think, or 8th, refusing to condemn Hamas is one of the worst examples of ignorance and cultural relativism of the moment. And I like to throw back on that. Oh, crap. James Baldwin. Yes, I almost forgot his name. I was thinking Frantz Fanon. I'm like, that's not Frantz Fanon. But you know, the children are always ours, every single one of them, all over the globe. And I'm beginning to suspect that whoever is incapable of recognizing this may be incapable of morality. And I would put to you that these PERFs, I think this applies to all of them. But again, it's Hamas's fault. Everyone has to remember that. It's Hamas's fault, and Islam wants to kill all the Jews and then all the Christians. World domination. Yeah, remember that. That's critical. And if you don't see that, you're an ignorant, terrorist-loving rape apologist. Yeah? And Rob also is an engager of non-consensual debate. So I just want to say that I want to flag that. I want to be like, you know, I don't know how I feel about that, Rob.
I know. It's problematic.
Someone without getting their explicit consent beforehand about what they consider appropriate critique of their work. That's some patriarchal male privilege bullshit, and I'm not going to tolerate it.
It's almost like I would say I'm like colonizing their arguments almost, but that's okay. That's good.
You're Rob-splaining. You're going over there and spreading your legs all over, taking up all the space for your sack in their argument. Oh, my kids are probably in the other room going, Mom's crazy. I am. These PERFs have piqued me. I used to not be this way. Well, as much. Anyway, yeah, but we'll get to that. We'll get to that fantastic when he was basically accused of intellectual rape.
And stalking.
And stalking, yeah. If you come after me and talk shit about me, and then if I do that to you, that's okay. But if you respond, then you're a stalker and a creepy this, that, and the other. I mean, hello, gaslight. Jackie Holyoke. It is beyond horrific that Hamas, as the government in Gaza since 2006, provided no protective shelters for any of these children before it started this war. Again, anything that the Israeli does is not their fault. Because the Palestinians deserved it. It's like the wife beater excuse. Yeah. Look what you made me do. Yeah. Look what you made me do.
Yeah. It's exactly that argument. Yeah. You should have ducked. That's the only reason your jaw is broken. Is because you
know
were
how I am.
Enough.
You know how I am at my raves.
Yeah. Yeah, you know how important raves are to me. If you interrupt a rave, I'm just going to lose my shit.
I'm just going to go batshit on your ass. And you know it. You push my button,
not just for a day, for like 2 years.
Oh, Weedy. Okay, Ava Bronze. So this is from, there was a Philia conference, last month. And here's some top shelf powerful, well, two of them. I don't know who the C-list perfs here are on the one side. But we have Julia Long and Kara Dansky, who 2 months into a genocide, and after this mass rape thing had been debunked over and over again, but just not anybody with not
2 years into a genocide.
Yeah, just not debunked by the someone on the BBC or Hillary Rodham Clinton. These type of people, none of these types of people who they would deem as a good source have come out and said, yeah, turns out no evidence, no material evidence of any of that shit that we talked about to manufacture consent for genocide. So no beheaded babies, no mass rape, et cetera and so on. Oopsie. But no, because these ladies love. So she rolled out, and Lear Keith, who is a fash femme. I'm totally convinced now that she is a fash femme. She's the fash femme's fash femme. She's the head of Wolf, which is the female liberation front of deep green
Women's
resistance.
Liberation Front.
She will say that there's no genocide going on in Palestine, and her friend there will say, will scoff when someone calls it a genocide. Derek Jensen, and he'll be like, who's being genocide is the whales, and so they're batshit crazy off the reservation.
Says the population of Gaza is increasing. That's how.
Yes, and she's, in addition to being an expert in rape, she's also an expert in genocide. And Lear loves to talk about rape. She really does. Which that's an issue for another time. How rape is central to feminist psychic libidinal economy. So Lear made this sign last month. And Karadansky dutifully packed it in her bag, flew from DC to London or Brighton, whatever, unfoiled this fantastic genocide denial banner. And these ladies joyfully presented this in front of the Philia conference with Israeli flags, and then acted like they were the victims if anybody took any kind of offense to this. So I call them the Averbronze. Their band is the Averbronze. And here's a great thing. Here's some feminism and Zionism for you. So I was responding to something about why you should look into that because you're spreading propaganda perhaps unknowingly. And this person gets back to me, how many more Islamic dicks can you suck? Seems like you'll be very busy once the death cult is giving you orders. So, feminism.
Yeah.
Feminism, but I'm the one that's bad for having a critique of it. Feminism can go suck a girl dick as far as I'm concerned at this point. Go suck a girl dick, feminism, and shove it up your bonus hole. Okay? Done with this bullshit ideology. Which doesn't mean that and don't get me wrong, doesn't mean that every single person who has said they're a feminist or is obviously, not all feminists. But I'm done with this stupid pseudoscientific grievance circle. Anyway, sorry. I'll let you do this one because you had fun with this. I don't know if they realized how much memeable real estate their genocide denial banner provided people.
Yeah, no, it was good. So this is just a play on feminism is the radical notion that women are people or whatever that one is. So feminism is the racist notion that a Jewish man raping a German woman would mean the Holocaust was self-defense. Essentially, taking the
applying their argument to
the Holocaust. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes. And Kelly J. Keene, she'll be on a PERF flight, believe you me. But this is her free your face thing because they're very concerned about Muslim women. They're very concerned about what Muslim women wear, and they want to uncover Muslim women so that they can be completely transparent to them. That's also something quite libidinally interesting, which is a topic for another time.
Yeah, I've got a few things on this one. One is how they respond to this. I feel like part of it, this isn't all of it, but there's an element of it where they're pissed off that another group of women, particularly like a group of women they don't like, are more like socially conservative than they are. I'm not really sure. Yeah, that's just my theory. Like because maybe it needs a bit of developing. But one of the things that she started saying was when she started like harassing random women in the street wearing hijabs or
claiming she was. Although they did film it once.
Yeah. She would say, or I think another time she was just talking to a woman about the hijab, and she was saying, well, when you do that, you make us all a target because then it's like, well, you're the conservative one essentially, and we all look like sluts basically because we've got our hair uncovered, and it's like, yeah, well, how far do you want to take that? Do you want to like? And I was looking at all the different like things where you know, people's like legally had like things women had done that had legally affected their like sexual assault cases or and stuff like that. And it was like having sex toys or not wearing underwear or like all these different things. And it's like, so are you all going to walk around with vibrators, no underwear, with your tits out? Because there might be a woman who's doing that who's going to get targeted because she's not doing it. So like, yeah, like the comparison...
there's no reasoning there. They just yeah, they try to put lipstick on ignorant Orientalist tropes,
and it's blaming they, as much as they say they don't, like it's blaming. That's the perfect example of blaming women for men's actions. It's like, well, you wore a hijab and then the non-hijab woman got attacked, so you're at fault because if you hadn't been doing that, like what? You both would have got attacked, or like there would have been solidarity. I don't know. I don't understand what the argument is.
Well, here's the thing: is that feminism at its root, feminism. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, you go.
I was going to say that another a theory of mine. It's not. I think it's, you know, pretty factual, but that feminism is all about controlling women. Yeah. They say that they want to free these Muslim women. They say that they on the surface, it's about these men, but what they really don't like is the women. That's their target. Yeah. And I'm sorry, feminists, but this is another thing, is that especially when they're talking about, you know, Islam or the Arab world or the Muslim world, and they want to talk about how, you know, how misogynist and patriarchal and all this stuff is, I go, well, you're blaming the women then, because if we'll just take their idea of that part of the world as fact. Yeah, so every woman is covered and kept in the home. Yeah, can only go out if she's with a husband or a son or a father and fully cloaked. Okay, which means is that woman raises is the soul, you know, is raising all those sons, is raising all those daughters. They're reproducing the system, and it's the same thing. We like to point the figure outward, but women reproduce. If you want to call it whatever you want to call it, patriarchy or whatever, women reproduce that stuff. You know, far more than men do. They don't want to look at that. They just want to say, oh, but that's only because if we don't, we'll all be raped. It's just bullshit. Okay. But yeah. So the thing is, their issue isn't with Muslim men. Their issue is with Muslim women, but they have to go around that with the men. Hence, free your face. Why don't you free your face? Yeah. They like to belittle the men, but their issue is with the women, because feminists hate women who don't follow their feminist ideology and agree with them. Again, not all feminists, just like not all men, not all feminists. Yeah, that's the thing. Somehow, look at how Zionists target, and a lot of Rabbi Shapiro made this argument that Zionism is about changing Jews, not about protecting them, about changing them. And it's the same thing with feminism.
Yeah, the
targets change. Right? It used to be back in the day, proto-feminists, which is so interesting. They probably don't like to learn about this too. But like what's now called first wave feminism or proto-feminism, those women leaned in to their gender roles as wives, as mothers, as the fairer sex, as the more godly sex, as all that. They leaned into that as as a moral foundation for their political claims or their grievances about whatever it be, about drinkingness and. You know, they're upset originally a lot about, you know, their husbands getting drunk and whatever. And then later on, that argument became patriarchal. No, that was, you know, thinking about women that way is patriarchal. That's how it keeps us down in the private sphere and all that. So the target of the feminist women or proto-feminist women change. Yeah. But the target is women.
Yeah,
which is why they will tell when you step out of line, they'll tell you to go suck dick or why don't you go over there, and basically telling you to get raped because they're feminists.
Yeah, and the same way that Jews who are anti-Zionist are like viciously targeted by Zionist Jews. And
what is it? Self-hating Jew, self-hating woman, internalized anti-Semite, internalized misogyny, or internalized patriarchy. Oh, but all the bullshit, which I could get. I mean, I'm just like, bring it, ladies. I'm done with you.
Yeah.
And who am I? But I think it's fun because they freak out and they try to say, "Oh, you don't understand. She doesn't understand. Like feminism is rocket science. Here's whatever you don't like, and it's either patriarchy or something that patriarchy caused. So it's patriarchy, porn, penis violence. I mean, it's so it's so complicated, this feminism." I'm like, no, not really. And as if most people on the planet for a long time, since we went from Neanderthal to whatever, men and women, we all know that, rape is bad. I mean, rape and child abuse is of any kind is really the only crime that there's no justification for, right? We can have justifications for killing somebody or gradations, for killing somebody or for stealing, whatnot. No one is like, well, it was rape in self-defense. Except for or I had to beat that 5-year-old for self-defense. I mean, there's certain things that and this is normative, which doesn't mean it doesn't happen. But that's why we have norms against it and laws against it and whole procedures, which of course can be quite flawed, not budgeted right. Police don't like to spend time on crimes that are hard to prove, like he said, she said, all that stuff. This idea that somehow feminists have spread on, and before that, nobody knew or thought that rape was bad. They're bonkers.
To push back slightly on that, because I think there's a truth in that, but also marital rape was only made illegal in the 90s in Australia.
And they would have you believe that every wife was being raped all the time. Their rape statistics.
That's true, but that still does indicate a social acceptance of, and that at least a wife doesn't have bodily autonomy.
Okay, well, we'll give them that one, but I also don't think that only feminists were saying that you shouldn't rape your wife.
No, that's true.
I mean,
there's
you don't think that a father or a brother would do something if his sister or daughter was being manhandled treated inappropriately by her husband? There's definitely
countervailing.
That's my point. I'm not saying that marital rape that's not good, that marital rape is now acknowledged as a crime, but there's lots of things that we could go back and be like, well, why wasn't this acknowledged as a crime, but way back when? And it doesn't mean that it was just, laissez-faire, you could do whatever you wanted. There's a reason why women know how to poison men and we're considered to be witches. There's ways to get rid of a bad dude. Yes, but of course, but again, this idea they have that but for feminism, women would all be chained to the kitchen and forced to give sexual acts at a man's beck and call 24/7. And I'm sure you can find historically some cases of that, but in general, or even as a minority, no.
And
the idea that you're safe. This idea they've convinced certain women, younger women, to the extent they're not just trolling, that it's safer. I rather come across a bear in the woods than a man I don't know. I mean, it's stupid, and you should be angrier about it. But that's fine. Anyway, side note. Let's see. So. Now let's get into our focus of today. Our first PERF light is focused on Edie Wyatt and Welcome to the Dollhouse, I guess, is their
and
podcast.
Kit Kowalski.
With Kit Kowalski. And I didn't know they had a podcast because, big surprise since I was, since Weedy did a bitch and block on me. This is the first time I was aware of her podcast. It was when this riff between you guys spilled out into the YouTubes. So this is
Yeah.
do you want to take over for a bit now? And
yeah, sure.
Okay.
So yeah, as I was saying, sort of before you got back, Kit and I were like pretty good, like online friends, and had sort of seemed to have like pretty similar ideas about, you know, basically on the gender stuff. We're like pretty much in sync, and I think this is in line with like what Laura Jones was saying, where she was saying that she had a friend's dad or something who was like really lovely guy, but then she found out he voted for the fascist party in Italy, and that like people are like multifaceted. So yeah, like I've been furious at some of the shit that they've been saying, and I was like, yeah, quite angry. But then also thinking like, ultimately, one of the ways they get out of like being held accountable is by over selling like what their critics are saying. So they'll say like, oh, they're saying we're evil and that we're horrible people and nobody should trust us, and like just the end of the world. And it's like, no, we're just saying like, it's like
I'm saying that.
Yeah. Okay, well, maybe Tara's saying that, but like the more limited things are like the shit that you're saying about the genocide in Israel, in Gaza is like wrong. You're like cowardly and like you say you want debate, but clearly you don't. There's a whole bunch of different things in there. There's like limited specific like actual arguments that you couldn't rebut. So then you try to draw it into they want to try and kill us and like all this like superfluous or like exaggerated bullshit. So anyway, we were good friends. I started getting quite alarmed when Kelly J. Keane started promoting race riots and arson as like a political tool, and started talking about like the people who tried to burn down the migrant centers as being like the vanguard of her movement, like doing this at LWS events. And I was like, this is pretty like fucking crazy. And I started talking to Kit about it, and we got into a few kind of like pretty long discussions, and she was basically like of the opinion like, doesn't matter, not my business. Like one of the quotes I remember was like, I'm not my sister's keeper, which I like didn't.
I'm sorry.
I didn't.
All these ladies do.
Yeah. I didn't know.
That's hilarious. I'm sorry.
I didn't know the Bible thing that's from, but like in the like it's obviously a reference to Cain and Abel. And the irony is that when he says that, when I'm not my brother's keeper, the whole point is that he's like he should know where his brother is, and he's like he's actually killed him, like so yeah. So yeah, I'm not my sister's keeper. And I was like, but like she's fucking promoting like violence, and not even like that fanciful violence. Like people are setting fire to these buildings, and there was like footage of a woman standing outside the front of a migrant hotel while like families with kids were going inside, and she's like going, you're gonna all get burned out tonight.
Feminists can be fascist. Females can be fascist.
Absolutely.
That's another thing of this idea that there's something about being a woman that makes you somehow impervious to these types of to tyrannical, authoritarian, extremely violent behavior. It's not true. Or those who do are somehow infected with patriarchal whatever. It's like, how convenient.
Yeah, absolutely. So then,
but she's drunk on power. She's feeling her oats. But she's gonna have a banner soon that what is English? What is it?
I don't get
What is
it.
a woman? What is English? And fair enough, you know.
Right.
But
Okay.
But let's not get. We'll come back. Believe me, we'll come back and do a perf light specifically on Blonde Ambition, Kelly J. Keane.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So
we'll believe you me.
So, talking to Kit about this,
list.
and then she says, what are we doing?
You're talking about Kit,
okay, and then the thing that so we'd gone back and forth, and she'd basically been like, I don't want to hear about it, kind of thing. And I was like, okay, whatever. And then there was a public, she posted something, and then another woman like Angie Jones, who any Australian TERF will know her, posted on the thing, posted a thing in reference to what Kit had posted, which was about like Nazis or something like that. And I sort of felt bad for Angie because I think she got absolutely like fucked over by the movement in general, because after the this is a little bit of TERF gossip. Yeah, Oz TERF gossip. So
spill that tea, Rob. Spill it.
Yeah, after the demonstration, after the Melbourne LWS demonstration, there were three people that the media really piled on. One was Kelly J. Keane. One was Moira Deeming, who was like a Liberal Party, so essentially the Australian Republicans politician who had spoken at the rally, and then Angie Jones, who was like one of the main also organizers, and who appeared with Kelly J. Keane in a video after the events happened. So they all got basically slandered as Nazis, and by like politicians and the media, and they just went fully in. And it didn't really affect Kelly J. Keane that much because she lives in a different country. Moira had greater protection, I think, because she was like a politician. Angie Jones, just a fucking single mom who was like doing her best to help out. And in the lead up to the like defamation case, I remember someone made a comment online to Kelly J. Keane, basically like saying, you don't have the money to fight this properly. And then J.K. Rowling had said either then or in some other place, Kelly J. Keane has my number if she needs it. And I was like, holy shit. Kelly J, like she's gonna fund her like legal thing. This could be fucking huge, because Moira Deeming's case was like a massive case, like really hard fought for, but she won and she got like millions of dollars. And I was like, oh man, Angie's gonna make it, like she's gonna be set. Like this is gonna be great. But Kelly J. Keane didn't accept the help, so they went and got a free fucking lawyer, and basically did the result was like as close to losing as they possibly could have gotten. They got like a shitty apology that was like not worth the paper it was printed on, basically, and all the only value that it had was to get them to sign off their ability to pursue any further legal action. And so I feel like she got totally rolled, and like, and Kelly J. Keane, I actually called her up when I spoke to her. I was like, what did you do that for? And she was like, well, we won. And I was like, you did only in
but she's unevenly clever. She's very strategic and wily in some ways, and then dumb as a rock in others. So I'm sure we all have that. But here's I think this is your meme, yes?
Yeah. But just let me get to this.
Okay.
Part of the reason why I wanted to, I commented on it to Angie's thing, because I wanted to be like, hey, they fucked you over last time, and now they're like pretending as though everything's still, we're not Nazis, but they have actually drifted significantly from the original mission statement. And now they're saying things that are really like could get you in trouble kind of thing. And so like, for instance, during the lawsuit, they were getting anything they could from Kelly J. Keane to try and paint her as a far right, like, lunatic. And they were struggling to come up with stuff. But like, now she was just producing it for free everywhere. And I was saying things to them like, what would it have done to the lawsuit if you had videos of Kelly J. Keane saying, I think arson is an acceptable response to like a political problem, and race rioters are the vanguard of our movement, etc. And so me and Kit went back and forth about this for a bit. And part of the reason why I kept was doing it was I was like, I want Angie to see this, because I want her to see how shitty these arguments are, and how, this isn't going to hold up in court or anywhere outside this little bubble of TERFs. And I wasn't being aggressive or anything like that. And then at some point I said to Kit, like, you're not really responding to what I'm saying. It seems like you don't want to, like, it's like everything you say is basically just an excuse to terminate the conversation, not to actually, like,
avoiding the elephant in the room. Yeah.
Yeah. And then she went like, yeah, actually, I don't want to participate in this, blah, blah, blah. We shouldn't talk anymore. And then blocked me. And, and that was the end of the thing. And so, like, what made this Dollhouse episode, like, particularly galling was that they're on there talking about, like, Charlie Kirk and what happened to Charlie Kirk, and how the left are so, like, pro-violence, and that, like, what a 15-year-old said at a birthday party about wanting to, like, shoot Trump is, like, politically significant. But fucking Kelly J. Keane using the Let Women Speak platform to promote, like, race riots and arson is like, I'm not my sister's keeper. Like, what the fuck? Yeah.
Well, no, that's not the same, because Kelly J. Keane's argument is that, it's necessary, it's self-defense because of something to do with halal meat, because apparently Islam and all the bad Islamist stuff spreads through meat consumption, I guess. Cousin marriage and rapists. Yeah. So we all know. Yeah. So she it's just self-defense.
And like people have set fire.
Like the IDF is doing in Gaza, it's just self-defense. Kelly J. Keane has the right to self-defend the homeland from those barbarian, halal meat-eating, cousin-marrying serial rapists.
Yeah, and then they just dress it up like she's just being sassy.
Allegedly.
Like she's just a little kind of... rough around the edges kind of thing. But
again,
yeah,
it's the vagina card. Oh, well, she's you wouldn't she's just a lady. She's just a little. She's just she's just a little lady who just likes to speak her mind. She just wants women to speak.
Even though people have set fire to mosques since she's made those claims, so it's like. The thing
that's where the cousin marriages take place and all the rapists come out of.
Yeah.
I mean, if you knew a place where all the cousin marriage and the rapists and whatnot were congregating, allegedly. I mean, come on, Rob. Anyway, but again, we don't want to get. I know you have a lot to say about Kelly J. Keane, but this is about Weedy Wyatt.
Yeah. Sure.
So Weedy Wyatt is an expert on all things, but particularly she is an expert on Israel and Islam and the Middle East. And the source of her knowledge is Jesus and her husband, her alleged husband, who's a Lebanese
family.
Yeah. So her alleged husband, I'll just call him Mr. Edie. I don't know his name. Who I guess was born in Lebanon and at some point I guess migrated to Australia, and she helped purify him from Islam. And I think she can. Now he's also, I'm assuming, I can't imagine he still practices Islam, at least in the open, with Edie. So Jesus and her husband are the source of her authority on all these topics.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll go ahead and let you read Weedy's tweet here.
Sure. Yeah, this was an interesting one. The state of Israel was founded because the world lost 75 million people fighting an oppressive expansionist political ideology that calls for the extermination of Jews. It's like
but just
Islamism is an oppressive expansionist political. Islamism is an oppressive expansionist political ideology that calls for the extermination of Jews. Funding and supporting Hamas or any Islamist organization with the intent of destabilizing Israel for their sins is a profoundly stupid strategy, and anyone who promotes it is a profoundly stupid and ignorant person.
Yes. And I wanted to say, who wants to tell her? Because, fun fact, I mean, and I'm not an evangelical Christian, and I don't attribute my opinions to Jesus. I try to leave, I'll stand on my own here. Nor do I have a Lebanese husband. I will throw out, just to out-Muslim her, I will throw this out. I did live in Gaza for 2 years, 2002 to 2004. I taught school there at the now defunct American International School in Gaza. And I have been trying, since that point, trying to, keep tabs on that and educate myself as much as possible and disabuse myself of, the almost 30 years or 20 some years of indoctrination and propaganda that I've been seeped in growing up in the United States. Gen Xer. I know I look like I'm younger than that, but I'm a Gen Xer. Anyway, yeah. Who supports Islamism? Let's see. CIA, Mossad, MI6, and the corrupt Gulf joke states, who are propped up and kept in power, are kept in power through, again, the Anglo-American patrons. Yes, this is who funds and supports anything you want to call Islamism. Yeah, so Al Qaeda, ISIS, etc. They want to lump Hamas in with that. Conveniently enough, it makes no sense to lump Hamas with those organizations, just because they both are constituted by Muslim men. And well, you can also be a woman and be a member of Hamas. Anyway, you wanted to say something, Rob?
Yeah, that was basically just it. That they try to there's two things. One, Islamism doesn't say anything about
anything.
Well, yeah,
it's a scary term. Ooh, Islamism.
It doesn't the thing of calling for the extermination of Jews. Iran is Islamist, and Hamas is too, and Iran has the biggest Jewish population outside of Israel in the Middle East, and Hamas has had has Christians and churches and those kinds of things. So it's not just that there are
here's the point, Rob, is that there
are different types of Islamist organizations, and to just say that they're all the same is incorrect. And specifically, the ones that are doing the crazy stuff, like ISIS, who are will destroy other people's religious symbols and those types of things. Those are the ones that are backed by the US and CIA and who
are now Al Jilani came through Al Qaeda and then ISIS, and now he's the chosen proxy leader. He's the chosen. He was He's been acknowledged as the rightful leader of Syria by all these people, including Israel.
Mm.
Yeah, Israel.
Yeah.
Nobody benefits as much from smearing and stigmatizing, whatever you want to call it, Islam or Islamism or all this stuff, than the Greater Israel Project, which is an Anglo-American imperial project. If it wasn't for the Anglo-American imperial backing of Israel, Israel would not be. And Edie, the British before World War II, quite a long time before, and then the US after World War II, did not support Israel because they cared about the Holocaust. They wanted a loyal imperial outpost colony in West Asia for obvious reasons, you toolhead, that have nothing to do with about anti-Semitism. That's the cover. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Which isn't to say that the people, but the men and women who join Al Qaeda or ISIS and get the money and whatnot, they're responsible for the acts they do, but they wouldn't be allowed to do it if not for the funding and logistics and intelligence and backing of MI6, Mossad, CIA, and other organizations in relationship with the supplicant Gulf states that would not be in power and that were put in power by Western imperial powers after the fall of the Ottoman Empire. That's just historical. That's just obvious if you look at it and think about it for more than a moment. But I guess Jesus, or Edie's Jesus, which is just Edie, if Edie thinks, because that's a narcissist, she thinks any idea she has apparently came from Jesus, and is vindicated because she has she plays the Lebanese husband card. But anyway, Aisha is awesome. She's a top tag, Turf Against Genocide. And she responded, Edie Wyatt blocks people because she's dumb and can't defend her arguments. This statement is historically wrong, made up history, exactly like TRAs do, so trans right activists. She's a dumb bigot that hides behind a death cult. That's a true statement.
Yeah.
You may not like how she said it, but good luck trying to disprove it.
There's a thing where like Edie's like really proud of being I'm not nice. And like her, I think the first word, yeah, in her bio are like, I'm not that nice. And it's like, it's not that you're not nice, it's that you're like dumb and fragile. And so when you encounter things that upset you, you like overreact and block and abuse and all the rest of it. Yeah.
Oh, we'll get to that. The dramatic readings are going to be. I'm looking forward to that. Oh, Rob did a response to their Dollhouse episode where they were talking about him, and they were all like, they're calling us genociders. I'm not a genocider. I'm not genociding anybody. It's like, no, you just support the people who are and propagate all their propaganda bullshit to justify it. That's what you do. But no, you're not literally shooting the toddlers in the head and blowing up the families and whatnot. No, you're not doing that. I mean, maybe she would if she could. I don't know. Yeah. And so, but you responded just to that kind of the ridiculousness of their pearl clutching, and also countering their factual inaccuracies. And it just was unlucky for them that right after, or maybe right before or right after they put this video online, that the ICJ ruling came out that was very, very bad for Israel. And so it's kind of like, but they're wrong because everybody, they're also, I guess also the ICJ is a Hamas fangirl, and they're just they're just internalized the Islamism, and they just don't really see that it's the most gravest threat ever. But Kit Kowalski responded to your repost to them. And do you want to read Kit's response, or shall I, Rob?
Yeah, you could. Okay, yeah. Over the past couple of days, I've seen some gleeful posts about having finally exposed my friend Edie Wyatt. I think this is interesting wording too, because
gleeful.
Well, I've never used the word exposed, but then there also, I think it like goes in with the stalking and the critique, the involuntary
attack.
I've been exposed. Like, it has like sexual kind of like
let's read through it first. Let's read through the whole thing first, and then we can
I suppose I'm bemused by the idea that Edie's politics are in any way obscure. She has always appeared transparent to me. She loves Jesus, supports women's rights, stands up for gays, and she believes that Jews should have a homeland in Israel, and she isn't any kind of socialist. She is also not that nice. Yeah, see, this is what I'm talking about. I've linked to a search of the phrase "go fuck yourself" on her profile, and you can see she's liberal with its application. Oh, bold Edie. Edie has told people to fuck off. Like a Palestinian. Edie has told people to fuck off in a spirit of political defiance, and she told people to and she's told people to fuck off.
Are they secret lesbian lovers?
Offensive and outrageous claims made by her personally. Made about her personally. I often take "go fuck yourself" to mean she has passed a point of discerning a future of reasonable agreement with someone. In the social media marketplace, like very astute. In the social media marketplace of ideas, engagement is currency. No one is owed your time, attention, or agreement. You are not even owed a fight. It is odd to have this brought forth in an expose when it seems patent that there are limits of what Edie is going to discuss and with whom, and there are clear statements of belief forthcoming at every turn. I wonder why women's values and opinions are so open to contest that drawing a boundary, even if it isn't a nicely drawn boundary, is something worthy of commentary. Debate is fun, but a bit like sex, it's only fun when it's voluntary.
Okay, well, see, this is some Bush League feminist mind trick. First of all, it's basically saying, like, we want to say whatever we want to say, and if you respond in a way we don't like, then you're bad. They want their cake and to eat it too. It's all it is.
Yeah.
It's all it is. And of course, no, you can, and no one's saying that. It's always they put out these arguments that nobody's saying. No one has to, you don't have to, obviously it's your social media account and your YouTube channel. You can respond or not respond, block, mute, you can do whatever you want. And so can we. But this idea, and then to try to make her, her F-offs philosophical.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, well, in the spirit of that, eating kit, you can go fuck yourselves as well all day long. I'm just asserting my boundary, and I'm a woman. And if you have an issue with the boundary I put around what I find is acceptable or not acceptable, or what I want to engage with and how, well, then you're basically violating me. And so back off, bitches. Sorry, I'm wild up. But if the bitch fits, just like if that's no longer really a gender specific term. Men can be a bitch as well. But I love this. Debate is fun, but it's a bit like sex. It's like, where do they come up with these rules? It's like, if I can say whatever within bounds, obviously. I mean, well, literally you can say whatever you want. Now, there's norms that are, time and space specific, but it's like Edie wants to come out and say the most craziest batshit stuff. She doesn't think it is. And then if you respond to that, somehow you're bad. And she's just somehow, it's just putting lipstick on a turd, but whatever. I don't know if they secretly are having a love affair. Maybe Mr. Edie is what do you call it? It's a fag hag for a boy, for a guy. What is it for a lesbian?
Yeah.
What is it for a lesbian? If the guy's covered so that, I don't know. I mean, and that's fine, Maybe that's what it is, because some of these women really talk like it's like watching those junkets for the first Wicked movie with Ariana Grande and the woman who played the witch, and they're just like fawning over each other, and they're just like protective and all this stuff. It's like, what's going on?
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought that, and that's where it comes from, that, non-consensual debate is intellectual rape. So if you say something about something I say, a publicly provocative, demonstrably shit statement that I say online, even if it's in regards to you, you have to get permission from me before you say something about it, and then we have to like have a meeting and decide the guidelines of what's appropriate or not. These people are crazy.
Yeah. And the whole point is, like, obviously the debate, like, any debate is voluntary, but the point is that, like, she couldn't. If Edie were to participate in a long form, moderated debate, it would be like a, figurative chimp attack. Like, she would get her face eaten and like a hot shit put in the cavity where her nose used to be. It would be fucking ugly. And that's why she can't. That's why she doesn't participate. That's why so she brings up this genocide.
She goes in safe spaces and complains about you and whoever else,
like she brings up this genocider thing. And the reality is, like, the way they frame it is, like, someone called me a genocider, and then that's when the debate stopped. And it's like, no, you heard the word genocide, and then you stopped the debate because you knew you were going to lose. Like that, you had no response to what was about to happen. And I've got like screen grabs of where this happens, where someone brings up, like, they're like, well, why can't we just discuss it like normal people? Don't call me a genocider. It's like, first of all, you idiots are the first people that I've ever heard use the word genocider. People were saying you're enabling a genocide, you're ignoring a genocide, etc.
It's denial, denying it,
denying a genocide.
Yeah.
And
they don't like that because they're good.
Yeah.
They're good. Yeah. And since they're good, feminism is good. And since feminism is good and they're good and they're a feminist, it's all good. So anything that's negative it cannot be associated with them.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, it's crazy. But I don't know if you want to talk about this now before we get into the other Edie-isms.
Oh, sure.
I saw that you added this to our slides.
Yeah. This was basically related to the violence thing, because we would like throw this together very quickly. But this was Swipe Right. What's his name? He's like
Colin Wright, who's also a total paper post perf, works for the Manhattan Institute, which is a Zionist founded institution that was founded by an ex-CIA, not just an agent, but head.
Yeah.
But Colin Wright is, he's fighting the man. He's another dipshit. He'll be on a perf flight, maybe. Go ahead.
So this was one of them. This was originally, without the red text, was his meme, and it was like, look how the left's gone all the way to the left, and now they're shooting at Charlie Kirk in 2025. But what I did is went through and put through all the right-wing like attempted assassinations or assassinations of political figures that happened in those years that nobody even fucking remembers. Because they don't fit into their narrative that the left is the ones like, committing all the violence. Like, which goes back to that, like, the Kelly J. Keane thing, and that they don't really care. So here we go. Hugo Boss writes, leaving aside Islam, the historical account you provide of Israel is not correct. That's okay. Many people believe those things. More importantly, the key issue for the past 15 months is the slaughter/genocide being committed against civilians in Gaza. You seem insensitive to it. So no one's calling her a genocider. That's a very like calm, normal like response. And what does Edie say? War is not genocide. If you don't know the difference, it's not really worth talking to you about it. And I'm not here to talk about men's wars. Anyway, so yeah,
although she does it all the freaking time. That's the other thing.
Yes. and surely, like, that's exactly what a feminist should be talking about. Like, but anyway, yeah, and then on the left we have, you know,
no, but she goes, but Hugo Boss comes back to her. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Slaughtering civilians in an occupied territory that has no military equipment or capability is not war. I'm not particularly bound to the term genocide, call it something else, but bombing defenseless people and 90% of their infrastructure is not war. Yeah, touche. And it's actually genocide, because just making a place unlivable is an act of genocide.
Well, I don't know if Jesus, if Jesus is up to date on the Geneva Conventions and the things that were put in place after World War II, but if you can look up with them, and it's freely available either online, or you can buy a paper copy, and you can find out what the legal standard of genocide is, and why the ICJ was set up and all that stuff, and how Israel is in a pickle.
Well, that's the funny thing too, is because Edie's like, oh, after 70 million people lost their lives to the Nazis, Israel got set up. And it's like, yeah, so did international war crimes tribunals and refugee rights charters. Like, the whole fucking reason the Holocaust...
Is she an idiot that thinks, I mean, does she really think that World War II began and end because of anti-Semitism?
Yeah.
I mean, Jesus, but Jesus.
Yeah.
Not that obviously did not. I mean, obviously that's a part of World War II and started, has legacy before that. But the idea that World War II was all about that the only thing the Nazis wanted to do was to exterminate Jewish people. I mean, that was on the list. But even then, they didn't start ramping up. This is a historical thing I recently learned. I think it's correct that they didn't flip the switch on exterminate. They had, they were rounding them up. They were putting them in concentration camps. There was work camps. They were
sending them to Israel.
No, I'm talking about, yeah. But the Nazis didn't flip the switch on extermination until the U.S. entered the war. And apparently the U.S. knew that was something that was aware of that.
Right. Yeah, sure.
That, by the way, if you step into this, we might, and I don't know exactly the terms, but I know that Thaddeus Russell and some other people, maybe even that controversial historian podcast dude, what's his name? Oh shit, Martyr Made. He's also talked about that them turning the concentration camps and work camps into death camps. Not that they weren't, you could get away with killing Jews before that. Didn't start until the United States officially entered the war against Germany.
Right. Yeah.
And they knew where the camps were, but it wasn't a priority to. But that's it. But details. Details.
Yeah. So the other one was just. Oh, hang on. Go back to the. Can you go back? Yeah. So this one, this settler colonialist table just genocided my toe. So she's trying to pretend as though we're the ones who aren't using words correctly. But specifically, she's trying
We're being alarmists. We're being alarmists.
But also what she's trying to say is it's just like, Palestinian protester uni student type people who are using the word genocide, when in fact there's dozens of like organizations from the international,
thousands at this point, even
inside
even
Israel,
Israeli
outside Israel,
and Jewish whether it be human rights lawyers or organizations, historians, etc., who are calling this what it obviously is.
And this actually mirrors the trans argument. So the trans have an argument where they're like, I can't define a woman, but I know I am one. And the Zionists say, I can't define a genocide, but I know this isn't one. And
or it's an okay one.
Or it's an okay one. Yeah, because they'll always go like, not a genocide, but they'll never like actually, okay, so what is genocide? What is your definition? Anyway.
Well, it doesn't really matter because there's a legal one that was it wasn't like they just decided like, whoop, picked it out. There was a whole process of establishing international law around this and the apparatus to try to bring these things in to try to be able to adjudicate these accusations and what the government, the governments who sign on to it are responsible for, at least on paper. Yeah, it's all fleshed out. And the thing is, these guys act like until every single person is dead, it's not a genocide. It's like stupid people. The point of having this isn't just to try people after the fact. It's to prevent it from happening, or to prevent the numbers of it. Yeah. So better to nip a genocide at the beginning than after it's freaking done. You toads. Stupid people. Anyway.
Yeah.
But when your argument is in line with the military-industrial complex, all the ruling elite, and all the mechanisms of empire, then you get away with saying shit like this because other people enforce it. But yeah. So let's see. Let's get into and just to some of the before we get into some of the things that this fantastic, how, because remember, people, Islam bad, Muslims bad, Israel good, and if you have a critique of Israel or its supporters, you're bad. Remember this.
You're an anti-Semite.
You're an anti-Semite. You're a rape apologist. You're a terrorist. You're all these things. Now, again, Israel has the problem last week. I think it was last week. Another leaked video of IDF soldiers videoing themselves raping a Palestinian prisoner. They like to do this. It's a thing. This has happened before. This came out, and then you have rabbis coming out and say, "Well, not the Torah, but the Talmud. It's not bad. It's not rape. It's only bad to rape a Jew, basically." was one argument. And you had people demanding that these officers, while the first scandal this got leaked, first tape, and a group of soldiers were arrested. You had people protesting, like having a riot at the prison, demanding that these IDF or prison guards who raped this, who gang raped a Palestinian prisoner, be released. And when they were finally released, a lot of them were lauded on TV, including by their wives. But Islam is a Western democracy, Western values. Okay, so this happened again, and this lady got in trouble. I don't know if this general, she's a general in the IDF, I think. I don't know if she got in trouble for releasing it, but she got in trouble because she somehow let this video be released of these. And she's been
covering up a whole bunch of other stuff.
Yeah,
like people say she's not like lefty, like trying to, had problem, a long history of this kind of thing. She had
Rob,
been covering up other war crimes.
Okay, you were cutting in and out, but now you're back.
No worries.
Okay. So can you say that just again, your last part? Because it was she's not like a lefty general or some kind of human rightsy kind of person. She had a long history of covering up other atrocities and helping like Israel get away with stuff. And I guess just like a gang rape on film was too much for her. And so she put this out, but like she's not like she's just a regular Israel, like the media and Netanyahu's government response isn't about anything about how this is bad. We shouldn't be raping prisoners. It's like, oh yeah, it's bad for PR. Yeah. So basically, it's fine to rape Palestinian prisoners. And if you think they only do this, and so for the feminists who only care about women, if you think they're only doing this to men,
you're fucking crazy.
Whatever.
Yeah, no, there's
people don't tend to treat people who have no power, who are totally powerless, who can't do anything, who have no organizations or authorities that are going to come in and enforce their rights, tend to be treated quite poorly. And if you think they're only doing this to the men, again, it's just boggles the mind. These stupid pervs.
There's two clips I've seen. One is of a guy who used to work for the State Department, and he basically said, we got reliable evidence that the IDF had been raping like a 12-year-old, and we put the charges to the IDF because we're not meant to give weapons to like people who are doing stuff like that. And the IDF then declared the NGO that had given them the information a terrorist organization, and went in and stole all their computers, and basically like shut down the group to stop these reports from coming out. I also have another thing from a lawyer in Palestine, and yeah, this was a woman, and she was saying that she had a client who they'd stripped her naked and kicked her in the genitals until she and she had like permanent medical problems as a result of this type of thing. And these claims are like on video with names, with a lawyer, with a person you can like, identify, and they don't give a crap, but they do give a crap about like this mystery could have happened somewhere. Don't really know, like, atrocities made up.
Well, it sounds like Fash Femme Lear Keith and her sidekick Kara Dansky should go to Israel and parade their "rape is not self-defense" or "rape is not resistance" sign.
Yeah.
They should go there, I think, or at least do or send another one. But no, I mean, the thing is that when you have honor, I guess the term is still honor societies. Yeah. So, if you of course, and if Israel wants to have informants, wants to have people inside Gaza and inside the West Bank and other places, that they can control. And a good way of doing that is if you rape a man or rape or a woman or a girl or a boy, and you have tape of that. There's a reason why they tape it. I'm sure they get off on it later because they're perverts and disgusting. Not every single one of them, but that society is rotten to the core. And, people should be aware of that. But you use that because then you can control them. We'll release this video unless you do X, Y, and Z. Same thing they do. The same thing why they monitor communications a lot. You think they don't all do this to gay people? You think they're not blackmailing gay people in around this place? If they'll try, yeah. So these people are just idiots. But of course, it's fine. And even like the Hugo Boss thing said, like, look, we can be, for the first bit of time, you can be like, look, a lot of propaganda. The other side doesn't get a lot of airtime at all in the Western countries. We've been acclimated or groomed to be like Islam, terrorist, ISIS, all this stuff together, all the crap that they talk about. But after you get to a point, after 6 months, after a year, after 2 years of people trying to explain to them, trying to provide other information, trying to all this stuff, and they still are here, that's when I say, that's when I say that you can write them all off. It's like when that meme from Sal Grover, I think, that if you tell me that a woman has a penis, I'm not going to take anything you say seriously. The same thing with this shit. If you're still, and I passed this point like a year ago, or maybe even a year and a half ago, if you're still peddling this stuff now, sorry. There's certain things that I'm like, I just can't be bothered.
Yeah. And because I think
that that sex is real. Yes, you'll say it out loud. Great for you. Doesn't mean you're not a fascist. Doesn't mean you're not an idiot. Doesn't mean you're not whatever it is to still be here at this point in time. I don't care if she loves Jesus. Jesus is not happy with Edie. Okay.
Yeah.
So I hope that I hope that I don't know if she'll tell Jesus to fuck off when she dies and goes to heaven and has to be judged. I don't know if she'll tell him to fuck off or whoever angel. I don't know how that works. I don't know how the processing works in heaven. Peter. But good luck, Edie. And I think you'll be finding it quite toasty in the afterlife unless you take a turn and reflect and repent. to your God. Anyway, Edie Wyatt, one of the things that why don't you talk about why you called her the Arab Whisperer?
Right. Well, because in my conversations with Kit, it seemed pretty apparent like that she had very little understanding, and I don't have a great understanding either, but she had very little understanding of like the Middle East or Arab culture, or like, you know, Islam, or like I said, you know,
she's ignorant. Move on. Yes.
Sure. Yeah.
She's ignorant of this issue. But
yeah. And so one of the things that it just seemed as though Kit would talk about her experiences with people from different countries, and it was like it was all based on her personal experience, oftentimes like shit that's just like verifiably false. Like, for example, she talks about Hezbollah and how like what a scourge they are, and how no one in Lebanon likes them. And it's like, yes, definitely there's a strong, like there was a Lebanese civil war in which Christians like butchered Muslims, Sabra and Shatila. Kit, if you're listening, you want to look that up and do some research about it and wonder why Edie's never like mentioned that to you before.
I think what we want to say is that in a civil war, both the sides involved do bad things.
Sure, yeah, I'm sure that
focused on her. So maybe her husband was a Lebanese Christian, like Gad Saad.
No. He wasn't. He was from a Muslim family, which makes it like all the weirder.
Allegedly, we have no
allegedly.
visual sightings of Mr. Edie.
Yeah, not that any of her family like matters, and that's why she brings it up, because it's like something she can talk about that doesn't matter, because she'd lose the shit that does matter. But yeah, so she's talking about like, oh, everyone in Lebanon hates Hezbollah, but like everyone in Lebanon hates Israel. If you look at the polls, like Hezbollah is like is popular with some people, unpopular with other people. Everyone fucking despises Israel. And if she's telling you that, like, you know, they don't, then
I just want to flag that, because bullshit. It's important to know that like with the Lebanese state, such as it is also a comprador regime. Yeah, that's very let's say plays both sides. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So they would like to, so the ruling class who has the state in Lebanon are aligned with the United States and with therefore also with Israel. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So you know, so there's a reason why any media organization or major institution that's of that apparatus is going to have nothing good to say about Hezbollah, which comes from a very different social and economic base. Yeah. Which is not to say, you know, so I just think that and again, that's going to be like the extent of my understanding of Lebanon, but that's going to be the case throughout the region.
And I mean, it's like they're currently getting more, like recently the Lebanese government was saying, we're going to start fighting the IDF now, and almost like tacitly approving Hezbollah as the only force in Lebanon that has the capacity to to protect Lebanese sovereignty. Well,
yeah, and when the Hezbollah is what pushed Israel out of Lebanon.
Yeah, but they were getting freed. They stopped the freedom from spreading. That's basically
anyway, so that's just.
But yeah. So anyway, the point is that Edie essentially.
The point is, and this is just the thing, is that who you're married to and who you know, or all this stuff has no bearing in an argument. Yeah. So it's the same thing. I can throw out I lived in Gaza for 2 years, and I did. Doesn't mean that makes me an unquestionable expert. Yeah, it doesn't mean that I'm not I'm immune to this Hamas, Islam, you know, because I've had experience there. also doesn't mean I'm blind to the, the spectrum of it all. But it's the same thing. It's like, it's just the most retarded thing. It's like, my husband's Dutch. Does that mean that I am the expert? And anytime anybody said anything about anything to do with Holland, and I could be like, my husband's Dutch, therefore you can't.
Yeah. It's like a little kid argument.
Dutch.
It's like
who cares? I'm American. Does that mean I know every single thing about? I mean, there's people who are not American, who I'm quite sure could tell me a lot more about, who know a lot more about aspects of the American history in particular, whatever, than I do. When it's like in my blood or something. Like I was born in the Pacific Northwest. There go, I'm the expert of all things American. It's stupid.
Sorry, it's like it's a little kid argument. Like my dad is a mechanic, so what I say about the cars, like, but my dad is yeah. So anyway, I was just kind of annoyed that like she was representing herself as like the voice of the Arab people, as though like you can't just look up the fact that she's wrong about a lot of the stuff she says anyway. And so one of the things that she said was like, she was going through all the different people and she's like, oh yeah, and Palestinians, they're spicy, or they're a bit spicy or something like that. And then she said something even like, I actually said that out loud. So you could tell she knew it was like uncomfortable to have said. And she was also giving shit to like one of the people who criticized Arja for saying that she was, because Arja portrays herself as being like a street activist, and this person had said, oh, I thought she was street, like why is she at a conference? And Edie was like, oh, she said street about a black woman? I would never say street about a black woman. And it's like, you just called Palestinians spicy, like what the fuck are you talking about? So I took this meme and it's just the horse whisperer like redone. Edie thought that was a woman's body that her head was on, but it's just like whoever the guy from the horse whisperer was. That's why it's
Robert Redford. Robert Redford.
Yeah, it's Robert Redford. And so I just cut that out and put a guy with a kufi.
I had to say that I this is one of my favorite memes of yours.
Yeah. Well, it did well.
But apparently, and again, they always whispered the same thing, which is kill all the beep, kill all the beep. Yeah.
Conquer everywhere.
So Edie Wyatt, I want to make a quick comment. No, I'm sorry.
I wanted to make a quick comment about the sick fuck who posted this on his YouTube channel, Rubble of Empires. The picture is targeted at me being married to a Lebanese man. This actually has nothing to do with your Lebanese husband. Yeah, allegedly. Publicly talking about being part of a Lebanese family. No, just as note 1, Lebanese people do not identify as Arabs. They are Phoenicians. The guy in the photo seems to be identified as Palestinian because I said on the podcast that Palestinians were a little more spicy politically. She's like trying to downplay it. Like, you didn't say anything about politically. You just said they were spicy. Then the Lebanese, no lie there. But the man in the picture seems to be African. And I don't think he is. The Lebanese, the Palestinian and the Egyptians, for instance, are not part of the same people group called the Arabs, just because they are Arabic speaking. This is profoundly ignorant and racist.
Okay, now right there, let's fact check Edie. So let me see, I'm going to go through here. So here's the League of Arab States. And
right, yeah.
And the headquarters is in Cairo, which, as last I checked, is in Egypt. And so, yeah, there's the linguistic, and then there's the culture, which obviously, coincide. But it's not, you have to. The Arab League just didn't decide willy-nilly who's an Arab League country or not. The countries had to apply to it. Yeah, it'd be like, yeah, we want to be part of this Arab League. And Algeria, Bahrain, Comoros, Djibouti, Egypt, Iraq, Jordan, Kuwait, Lebanon, Libya, Mauritius, how do you spell it? Mauritania? Anyway, Morocco, Oman, Palestine, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Somalia, Sudan, Syria, Tunisia, United Arab Emirates, and Yemen. League of Arab States. If she wants to go do like 23andMe, like we're Phoenician, I'm sure it's just like in any place you're gonna have, especially when ethnicity took on political economic significance, you're gonna have that. Like I'm more familiar with it in India and in South America. So you have like the Spanish people and the Indígenas, so you have the people who are more lighter skinned, and they're like, they're, I don't know, come from, mama, anyway, some side of their family came from Spain or Portugal or whatever. And then you have the indigenous population. Of course, a lot of African slaves were also brought over to South America. But anyway, this idea, like they're Phoenician, the Lebanese are Arab, but they're
racist.
I'm like, well, every single one of them, like purely, like, what are we talking about here? Blood and bone, but whatever. But yeah, so I just wanted to, I saw that and I was like, what's Weedy talking about? So I just wanted to fact check her there before we go on the rest of her diatribe here.
Just trying to flex that she is a qualified Arab whisperer. Like,
yes.
Well, if you whispered Arabs as long as I had, you'd know the difference between an Arab and a Phoenician.
Yeah, but also, Rob, apparently she doesn't just can't read their minds. She can like do like a 23andMe test on them. She's powerful. Whereas some of us don't have that eye, don't have that Arab eye or that Middle Eastern eye. Yeah. So, for example, I and I sound like I toot my own horn. I lived in Shanghai. I lived in China for a year. I also combined has spent probably about 3 years in India. Now, I don't know if anybody's been. If you've been there, you know that my friends there, just if they know somebody's name and like hear them talk for even like a second, they can place them like that. Oh, they're from, like this state or this, what, and I'm just like, what? I mean, I can't do that, but anyway, but apparently she has this ability, so she knows what they're thinking, what their political desires are, and she can also tell if how Arab they are or Phoenician or whatever else she's got going on there. So let's see. This is profoundly. Oh, okay, yeah. Ignorant and racist. I talk about being part of a Lebanese Muslim family because, allegedly,
this part of my story. I'm the whitest person alive, and it's been a great adventure. It's been an adventure down under.
She went into the heart of darkness. Yeah, she's like,
yeah.
Ooh, I've tasted that, that swarthy.
To know the entire different culture of a people, I'm allowed to talk about that. No one was saying you weren't, you tool. I can even make a few generalizations. I do not talk about my cross-cultural experience and my mixed race life so that aggressive Jew-hating commies can speculate about me in the comments, which I have seen how I'm a colonist and converted my Arab husband to Christianity, which I didn't. I've never said that or given a shit about it in the slightest. I didn't comment sooner about this because I was genuinely frightened and considered contacting the federal police. Now, what's hilarious about this is, like, as I said before, me and Edie have been like friends online for ages. And I even took this meme down because it was potentially, talking to
Rob, have you learned your lesson? Rob, have you learned your lesson? There's no point in negotiating with PERFs. It's never enough.
So the thing is, when she posted this might have been the only place on the internet the meme actually existed, but it was like so terrifying that she had to like reproduce it. Can you imagine being the
terrifyingly funny?
Yeah. Can you imagine being the federal police and getting that phone call? Like, your head's on Robert Redford, and what do you want us to do? So
caressing. I mean, she acts like you had her giving him a hand job or something.
Who was supposed to be Palestinian because you were a colonial Zionist who bewitched.
She didn't say you. He didn't call you the Arab rubber, like Arab.
Yeah. The Arab stimulator. This is Mr. Rumble, Radiation Man. Is also contacting my friends with messages. So this is interesting too, because that's only Kit. I was talking to Kit, so that's contacting her friends. So this is about like trying to present it as though it's like this huge, scary like thing, and then posting letters to me on his timeline. That happened as I don't know if we've got the screen grab here, but that was months ago, like 9 months ago, that I said, participate in a long form moderated debate.
Rob, is it okay if we get through her treatise here and then we talk about the
Sure, but just this next line here, offering me money to talk to him about Zionism. It wasn't to talk to me, it was to participate in the debate with you, actually.
And by the way, you didn't ask me about that first. So you have a serious issue with consent in women.
Yeah.
I remember seeing that, and then it clicked. I'm like, is he talking about me?
Yeah. But then that makes it seem even scarier. Like he wants me to talk to him, and he like is contacting all my friends and like blah blah blah. So anyway, he has managed to get a few.
Mr. Edie.
Yeah. He's managed to get a few prominent GC women to post his video exposing me as a Zionist and tagging me. I got them to do it. They didn't do it of their own volition. I somehow
you got him on the horn.
Yeah.
You got him on the, what are we? Our Jew hate commie Reddit.
Yeah.
Jew hating commie
Reddit. Those same women deny that Hamas raped women, there we go, on October 7th and are part of an anti-Semitic faction of GC. The person who publishes all their nonsense.
I have an uncle who's Jewish.
What a rude thing to say about you and your uncle, that you hate and want to kill your uncle. Oh my God.
I don't want to kill my uncle.
Oh, but she said you want to kill your uncle. Well, I'm calling the federal police.
I like Barbara Streisand and Steven Spielberg movies, and I'm a big fan of Norman Finkelstein and Rabbi Yaakov Shapiro and Max Blumenthal and Arab Mate and Ilan Pape, and I appreciate the contributions that, what's that guy's name with the crazy hair, Albert Einstein. Yeah, super fan. Big fan of the Jews.
Yeah, that's the crazy, like calling the left anti-Semitic. Not that calling the left anti-Semitic is almost as crazy, and it is the same thing as calling lesbians homophobic. Like the way that lesbians got targeted by the transers as like, oh, you hate gayness somehow because they wouldn't go along with the trans stuff, is the same thing.
I don't want, but it's just kind of funny that we're anti-Semitic. So let me count the ways I'm anti-Semitic. I don't conflate Zionism with Judaism. I'm opposed to collective punishment, to genocide, to infanticide, to women's-cide, to also, I also don't like it when men and boys get killed. I don't believe in Jewish supremacy. I don't believe in all, whatever. I'm a fan of international law being applied evenly, and apparently that makes you anti-Semitic, which is really an anti-Semitic thing to say. Edie, you should do better. Anyway, let's go on.
Yeah,
he starts naming names, baby.
Yeah. Here we go. The person who publishes all of their nonsense is Julian Vigo. I have seen her. Vigo.
Yeah.
Yep. I have seen her claim the reports of rape on October 7th were propaganda and deny rising anti-Semitism. Again, Jennifer Bilek has piled on because I exposed her conspiracy theory laden.
Wait a minute. It's okay to expose women? How dare she? Did Bilek did she get consent to before she exposed Jennifer Bilek and Julian Vigo, or is Edie Weedy a huge hypocrite in addition to a raging Islamophobe and gullible Gellet here? Go ahead, sorry.
The creepy guy with the meme, hey, wants me to engage in debate, but I have spent hours and hours on the phone with Julian Vigo. I know what she believes.
She's a Vigo whisperer.
Bilek has told me personally she agrees with Julian, and Heather Brunskill Evans has written in Julian's publication a piece called The Great Rape Hoax, How Western Feminists Helped to Generate Consent for the Genocide in Gaza, which is a great article.
Well, here's the thing. Poorly researched nonsense. I would invite Edie, and I'm sure Julian would say, why don't you write up...
Or Jennifer.
Jennifer, write up the problems, and we'll post it. I'll publish it if it's well written. She should go. I mean, I'm sure that Heather would welcome this as well. Go line by line and go about how this is poorly researched and it's conspiracy theory. She should do that. She won't because she can't. But this is she's preaching to the choir here. They all gather around and start priming each other. Yeah. The feminist circle clit flick. Metaphorically, I'm assuming. But whatever. I don't know what these girls get up to. These ladies, these spicy ladies. Okay, so Bilek, so rape hoax, yeah. And then here I come up.
Here you go. Then there is their friend Tara, who's an actual fangirl for Hamas.
You know it, baby.
Yeah.
Have you seen them? I mean, sorry, them. It's a hard. If I look at it's a hard. Like right now, on one side of me, I have my Hezbollah calendar, and then the other one I have my Hamas calendar. And I got to tell you, those New York firefighters are having a hard time competing. It's just oozing masculinity. I'm like, come protect my border, please. Go ahead.
And then she quotes another tweet where she said, "This is Tara refusing to condemn Hamas. Let me emphasize this is someone Bilek promotes and publishes. Her philosophy is from Star Wars." You're supposed to get your philosophy from the Bible, not from
I don't know what. I also don't know
fictional...
why. I don't know what she's talking. Actually, I do know why she said that, because she's a dippity do. But actually, now that I think about it, because when I saw this today, I was like, "What the fuck she's talking about?" But I think why she talked about that is because I had a tweet maybe saying the occupied struck back, instead the empire strikes back, the occupied strike like, and everyone's freaking out because the occupied aren't supposed to do that. So the occupied struck back, and now they're freaking out. I think that's what she gets the Star Wars thing from. Like she's Princess Leia and not some sort of weird stormtrooper that's going to get axed in the first laser battle. Anyway, metaphorically, people, not literally.
And it doesn't say it here, but it says her rebel forces are, and I think it said like funded by Iran.
Oh yeah, Iran and Saudi Arabia. Yeah. And it's like, no. Well, and also like, so what? So it's like Saudi Arabia is funding Hamas. Check again, Edie. They get money from Iran. So what? Who funds Israel? Who funds ISIS? I mean, she's such a stupid idiot. Sorry. When it comes to this, and then all things, Weedy's a silly Billy. Okay. Again, so we have this, and then so she is that the end, or did I?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Did I not get all of it? I must have forgotten to. Anyway, she wraps up and basically says like,
she says if she sees another meme, she is going to call a third party and leaves it like, open as to who that will be.
She's going to turn us in?
Whatever. Yeah.
Okay, fine. I bring it. Okay, so then afterwards, I saw this and I was like, I think after the freak out of your commentary, your non-consensual response to they didn't ask you for consent, but you're supposed to ask them for consent. Whatever, before you dare talk about something they said on their public YouTube channel and X threads. I don't know if they don't think people can see those or what. But anyway, I wrote something back like,
we can see you.
You can block. I mean, you can't block you can block, but you can't hide from the truth. And do you smell that? The taint of rabid racism and genocide denial won't wash. And that I look forward to having you on the show, because we're going to go through some dramatic reenactments of her idiocy, and also ask for maybe a wellness check on Mr. Edie. We're concerned about his well-being. He might be in a misery type situation, I'm just worried about, I'm sure he's fine, but I would feel better. I would rest more easy if someone could let us know that, proof of life and wellness check that Mr. Edie is okay. Okay. And doesn't need to be freed from her loving embrace. It could be like, dude, we just got married because I wanted a green card, like I wanted citizenship. And now, I don't, maybe it was love at first sight,
But that is something that I had considered.
And again, the point that you've made is the only reason why we're talking about him at all is because she brings him up all the time.
Yeah. And in regards to she brings up like extended family and stuff as well. And I was just thinking she's like, I talk to them and they're like polite to me, and no one ever calls me a genocider. And it's like, do you not understand that when you're like talking to family members, you're kind of compelled to be nicer than you would otherwise be? And like,
my guess is that she's not as quite as vocal.
Yeah.
If her husband's family are Muslim, my guess is she's probably not saying. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't think they'd be very happy if she's basically saying that, Islam is the devil and evil and wants to kill all the Jews and, rape all the women and, whatever. Might make for a difficult Eid celebration. I don't know.
Yeah. But yeah, just the idea that her secondhand retelling of her like personal family experiences are somehow like, something that is of value to anyone but her. Like, yeah.
So anyway, I was having some fun with her because I'm done with the PERFs. I mean, the DARVO, the gaslighting, there's a reason why we say that ZRAs, Zionist rights activists, PERFs, Ziofems, etc., are just like TRAs, but even more so. Is that, and so I basically said like karma's a tag, 7-0, and I said to quote Cobra Kai, no mercy, I'm coming for you, bitch. And so there, I don't know if that was it, because my personal account has been embargoed. Someone turned me in for impersonation, like I'm impersonating myself, or I'm some sort of crypto sex bot, but it's still embargoed. So all I have is my morbid symptoms account that I didn't use that much until after I was embargoed by X. So I don't know if this is so. Anyway, so you posted your response to their Dollhouse comments on you and Israel Palestine in general. I saw Kit come out there with she just loves Jesus and she just cares about people and blah 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 blah. And so then I got in there with my with my thing about just having some fun. Karma's a tag, Cobra Kai, no mercy, this type of stuff. Just try to get a little, try to get more content out of her, because I was thinking she'd be like, "Oh my God, they're coming to get me!" Like as if I'm literally getting on a plane to go to Australia to have some sort of high school karate fight with her.
Yeah.
It's like it's a metaphor, okay? Just verbal, just words. But anyway, so Edie, in response to this, I guess it's like this is October 30th. I've locked my account for a little while. I'm a bit spooked after that weird guy was stalking me. She wants to be stalked. I've deleted my post from yesterday because I didn't want to publicize his channel or look at that gross racist meme anymore. Yeah, you're the racist. The reference to my husband's race and comments I saw by others that I converted him. I never said she. I also don't know anything about that. I'm just assuming by her rabid Islamophobic comments that her husband probably isn't a practicing Muslim. I think that's a fair assumption. You know, but who knows? Maybe he's, you know, maybe he's on his way to Mecca for a pilgrimage. I mean, I don't know. Started to make me worry a bit. Trans activists are bad enough. I don't need Islamists in the mix. I never wanted to get into a debate. I just want. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Play the. Get up. She's on the cross now. Play that. Play that violin. You know. I never wanted to get into a debate. But I thought she loved debate. I thought they loved debate. I love finding out how people agree with me and what they agree with me the most on. I love debate. Okay. I just wanted to stand up for the Jews, and I still will do that. GC communists have no boundaries. The personal is political for them.
You are the one who bring up your personal life.
She's so crazy. I find insinuations that my great love affair with my husband is an act of colonization. I don't know whoever said that. I want to genocide his people so deeply offensive that I'm prepared to engage with these people I'm not prepared to engage with these people in any way. I'm just not emotionally equipped for it. Well, that's the one.
Intellectually is the word you were looking for.
No, but intellectually or emotionally, that's the one truth. Yeah. That's the one true thing she said about herself in this tweet. I have just enough emotional fuel for talking about how Australia has erased my sex. And I'll get back to it in a few days. Well, thank God for that. So she's so crazy. Again, she can say, and we're just picking out some highlights, people. Unless she's figured out that the tide has turned and this is going to look bad for her and has been deleting her crazy shit, just go look at what she said. It's just so like, you wouldn't hit someone with glasses, would you? You wouldn't hit, it's like she says the most inaccurate, vile, genocide-denying, apologia, hasbara crack stuff. And then people get to the point where, it doesn't matter if you do it as gingerly as the Hugo Boss thing did, or you start getting enough and just be like, okay, it's time to name and it's just time to mock because this is crazy. She goes nuts. Well, not literally nuts, but it's all like, I felt nervous and I'm being attacked and I just want to protect the Jews by genocide denial and by demonizing a religion of 2 billion people. Oh, poor Edie. I'm just beset upon it. I'm just here trying to protect my sex. I have two things for her. Anyway, you want to say anything, Rob, about this?
Edie,
no. Victim Edie.
Yeah.
Misunderstood Edie.
I think maybe she realized, it was the only place that meme existed anymore, and it was kind of dumb. But anyway, Tara's calling me Islamophobic. I married into a Muslim family 30 years ago when I was 22 and have created a community with them.
Allegedly. I'm gonna need some proof of that. I call bullshit.
Yeah.
I call bullshit, Edie. I call bullshit on your black friend.
Yeah. I didn't until you just now. I'm like, if everything else is a bullshit lie, then
why is this true?
Why is this true? Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. But what's great about this is what's great about this is she was not on my radar. I think because of Jennifer and Julian, she came across me and then put that thing about Tara's, she won't condemn Hamas and I'm a Hamas fangirl. And I came back and responded to her and then or that's either this or she was going after Aisha and I commented just basically saying well, if the Islamophobic, if basically if the shoe fits,
Mm-hmm.
You know, and this woman, another stellar feminist, Women Exist. I posted something about Matter, about women imperialists. So Matter, imperial, whatever, just talking about this, and they found this, and which is great. I mean, I love it when people promote my work I love it when they boost my work. But she's like, I wondered why this woman hates feminists so much. Yeah, I wonder why. It's because you're all bitches. Sorry, not all of you. I'm sorry, not all feminists. Why would I have an issue with feminists? They tell me to suck dick. They tell me I'm an idiot. They tell me I don't understand, that I'm a misogynist, that I'm a ball palmer, that I am internalized patriarchy, that I hate women. Yeah, I don't know why. I mean, it's probably me. It seems to be rooted in her misunderstanding of feminism analysis and her dislike of any criticism of Muslim treatment of women. Yeah, that's what it is. And I'm not going to get into it now, but you guys can read what I wrote in my critique of feminism. I'm just basically talking about, how feminism and imperialism intersect quite nicely, and that might be something they want to look at. And then Edie, for some reason, comes back on, saw this, and these people have both blocked me, right? Long ago, because I dared to respond to them saying something, mischaracterizing my work or my statements. But I'm the hysterical idiot. Clearly, I'm the hysterical one. So I just, and also she went and found my Facebook page. And posted this. I'm really over the white ladies for Palestine / anti-feminist stuff. Please, again, because she's not racist about the Middle East. Please go to the Middle East and see how governmental structures without a history of feminism function. You fuck off out of my life. I'm not in your life, Weedy. You put my name in your mouth, bitch, not the other way around. Yeah?
Yeah.
So please, if you can't take the heat of critique, stay in the kitchen. Yeah? With your Muslim lover, man. Okay? You're so in love, you should have plenty to do. And I hope Mr. Edie exists, and I hope he's happy and healthy with Mrs. Edie. But it's just so crazy. Yeah? And this feminism stuff, I'm just going to say, okay? Like before feminism came on the scene in the 60s, somehow everything was just a total dystopian nightmare for all the women, And I'm going to say this, ladies, my washing machine helps me out more than feminism ever did. It just is true. If I had to pick feminist theory and material improvements that can be not just correlated, but connected to feminism over electricity and infrastructure and all my appliances and all this stuff, and be like, what has liberated me more in terms of time and all this stuff? It ain't feminism. Okay? And ladies, if the men didn't enforce your rights, you wouldn't have any. So please shut up. It's like the reason that feminism is even impossible, there's a reason why it emerged on the scene at the time it did, a particular type of political economic development mode of production that largely is attributable to men. Not that we were also doing important things, having the babies, the families, also do, obviously a lot of labor in the agriculture and all this stuff. But if not for not for the civilization outside them that men largely produced, feminism would not be possible. All the stuff you like. And if men, at the end of the day, not enough men recognized your rights, good luck, ladies. Good luck. And also, I would encourage any feminist group who's really like hardcore separatist, get your group, go create your matriarchal Israel point. We'll give him Madagascar. Please give him some sort of property and be like, you have a couple of years, no men. You don't get the benefit of any male labor or contribution. And we'll go check on you and see how you're doing. It's just stupid. So please, Edie, I could write down a couple of things, maybe be pressed to, like material benefits that have improved the lot of women as a group to feminism as compared to men, stuff that men are involved in, or male-dominated institutions or practices. Please, it's stupid. This is stupid. Sorry about my rant.
No. It made me.
We gotta live together, people. There's two of us. There's the man and the woman.
It made me think about one of the side points, because there's all the Islam stuff, but then there's like this anti-communist stuff that they've started doing.
Yeah, and
I
just the last thing is that there's people who want to. There's a link that I did with Bitter Pill on the conceit was, because this is the time when people like Piers Morgan were like, all they wanted to do is ask someone over and over again, do you condemn Hamas? And until they answered that question, they couldn't go, like you couldn't get anywhere else. It was like a litmus test. And so I said, well, not that I would be asked that, but if I were to find myself on a program and be asked this question, here's how I would respond to it. And I said how I respond to it, and then elaborated why this is the way I would respond. And I picked this particular picture. It's a Hamas soldier and his young son, because it humanizes them, obviously, which we're not allowed to do, but it also scares people because it also, they're there with their, they'd be like, I can imagine already, oh my God, that boy is being taught to hate the Jews and to want to kill. And it's like, no, his dad is a resistance fighter who's fighting to liberate his people. And of course, the son is going to emulate that. Like, but they have the same freak out when you see a kid who's an army brat in the States or another country who wants to dress up in their dad's military uniform.
Yeah.
But for some reason, when things that they do, when the Muslims do it, somehow it's insidious and somehow some sort of deep, dark thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
This freaked her out, and this is terror refusing to Hamas. And then, of course, she wants to tarnish Jennifer with it. And I'm like, I'm telling you, I will guarantee you this. I will not be the one deleting my Palestine-Israeli related tweets. You will be. You will. Not me. I stand by all of it. Not because I'm perfect or know everything, because I'm not lying and I'm not a sociopath. Yeah. And I'm not into dehumanizing entire groups of people. Plus, I know a bit about history and political economy and Anglo-American empire and all this bullshit. So I won't be the one. I don't think Rob will either, being the one freaking out about the tweets. Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm gonna take a moment and let you say what you want to say. Oh, sorry. Sure. Actually, no. I'm gonna do one more thing, and then I'm gonna turn over to you. Because again, this is what they do. What someone alerted me. I don't know if I don't know. I don't think it was you. It was somebody else who alerted me to them talking about me, Edie and this other lady. And so, of course, then I find out, I'm like, oh, okay, well, maybe I'll respond. But of course, they've already blocked me. So the bitch and block is a common Ziofem move. But I responded. I got around, but I responded with my morbid symptoms account before they blocked that. And I just wrote, brave Edie and strength of her convictions, women exist, blocked and retreated into hysterical feminist struggle cuddle, soothing each other and a little circle jerk of self-righteousness. One hides behind her husband as a human shield, the other desperately patching up her doubts by insisting, I don't understand feminist analysis. It's not rocket science, ladies. Feminist theory, like Ayn Rand for libertarians, is something most of us grow out of as we move on to more serious, mature politics and analysis. Do enjoy your symptom, and thanks for the content. You know you're that bitch when you cause all this conversation. Okay. End scene.
Yeah. So I guess in that vein, one of the ways that like Kit and I was sort of going back and forth was around I think at some point I said, maybe in a discussion with you or in a discussion with Mike, like King Critical, I was talking about how like universal suffrage was a communist goal from like the mid 1800s, and was like dismissed by capitalist society for forever. And then it was after the Russian Revolution, but before the Soviet Union formally became a country, that like British women got the right to vote. And I was like, that's not a coincidence. It was sort of done under that pressure of like, we don't want Russian women to be the first mainstream like European women to get the vote. And Kit found like a bunch of weird examples, like small little out of the way places where women had gotten the vote before that point. And it's like, well, one, they're small, weird, out of the way places. That's part of the way they were able to do it. But two, it's like, yeah, England is a bigger thing, is more significant, and it functions. I'm not saying that like women never would have voted in capitalist countries had it not been for the Soviet Union and communists, but that was a pressure like thing.
Well, also the more quote unquote women that are entering the labor market, it makes it quite difficult to deny them the vote if they bring to property and this type and whatever, however understood. Yeah.
And so similarly to the way that like social security and healthcare and those types of things were introduced in Western countries after the Soviet Union to try and like be like, well, if people in the Soviet Union are getting free housing and free all this stuff, we have to do something.
The point that Rob's trying to make is that feminists are great at taking credit for stuff that they were
partially responsible,
only partially involved in. Yeah.
Added to which,
and so
she was saying,
and of course, any ideology, any organization is going to, do that. You're going to try to take credit for stuff you want to take, and then push away bad stuff. Yeah. But this idea that, but for feminism, we would all be sex slaves and chained to the kitchen is bullshit. It's a fairy tale. And
added to which there was this thing. Hang on. There was this thing of like, there was the communists and they wanted, the revolution and women's rights and that like within as part of a revolution. But then there was the feminists and they just wanted all women to be like united under one banner. And they did it for everyone, and it's like, no. The suffragettes were like pretty explicit in that they're like, there's a thing here, votes for women on the same terms as men, and then a quote from Emmeline Pankhurst, which says, we're not asking for the vote for every woman, we're asking for the vote for those women who are qualified by property. So like in that sense, we're talking about like, a bourgeois kind of movement of rich ladies.
Feminism is both capitalist / bourgeois to the bone. It's a daughter, if you will, of capitalism, which is not saying it's all bad, of course, because dialectical, there's good and bad and whatever. So, but the idea is that it just isn't that all of a sudden some lady popped up and said, "Hey, what's going on here?" I mean, there's a reason why feminism came up and took root when and where it did.
And then it had nothing to do with class struggle.
And there's also a reason why the quote unquote second wave took aim at the housewife.
But then another thing I wanted to mention to bring up was just a quick rundown.
First wave didn't like the prostitutes. The first wave didn't like those.
Hang on. Just a quick rundown of the things that were progressive changes in the USSR. You've got universal suffrage, no fault divorce. This is in 1917. The abolition of illegitimacy and collective paternity child support, where if you couldn't prove who the father was, they all had to pay. The legalization of abortion in the 1920s, equal property rights and inheritance rights from 1918 to 1926, recognition of common law marriages in 1926, the right to education in 1919, equal pay for equal work in 1918, maternity and workplace protections 1918 to the 1930s, the decriminalization of marital rape and homosexuality. The criminalization of one, decriminalization of the other, state-supported childcare and social services, and equal rights in the 1936 Constitution. So, like, it's not just a minor component. Like, there was huge, step forward. And then the other thing is, like, having brought up and, like, forced them to admit that IW, International Women's Day, was originally International Working Women's Day. They were like, oh yeah, but even the women who participated in that, they got disparaged by the other communists as, like, dividing the working class. And if you actually look it up, they got huge support from, like, all sorts of sections, including Lenin and like, I can't find the thing.
Well, yeah, and I just to say that I had Jyoti Brar on, maybe was it 6 weeks ago, and she's the head of, or what, I don't know, she's a high up in the Communist Party of Great Britain, Marxist-Leninist, and she talked about, there's a clip about why she's not a feminist, but of course she's very much for women's rights and equality and all this stuff. But her thing is that as a Marxist position, that the quote unquote woman question, or the sexual politics ones, intimately intertwined with the class one. Yeah. And that you raise up men and women together, not by saying there's something about masculinity or there's something about femininity, or that the main problem is, this quote unquote, the patriarchy, and how, men as a group want to exploit, hoard and exploit women. And I guess I don't know how you guys distribute the spoils of that process. But yeah, the idea that it was very divisive and very what she would call, petty bourgeois, wrecking or whatever. The idea, and it's also why I don't want to get too far ahead of, we're going to wrap up here. I know it's late there and we've been going for a while, but it's interesting in terms of the changes of feminism, that especially if you bring in what you just brought in about the socialist and the communist side of things, that there is a distinct shift in the 90s from focusing from marginalizing the material and the economic issues and foregrounding male violence against women, the penis violence, and then male violence against women became the focus as feminism became more and more international and intertwined with NGOs and the surveillance state and the military industrial complex and all this stuff. Increasingly, the focus became on male violence against women. Beforehand, and you don't have to believe me, you can go back, that was not the case. And we'll just put a pin in why the Western imperialism would be hand in glove with a feminism focused exclusively on individual acts of men doing a bad thing to a woman or a girl. We'll just put a pin in how that's been used for all variety of things. Quote, quote, wink, wink, Afghanistan. Wink, wink, Afghanistan again. And maybe Afghanistan again. Who knows? But let's see. We got to wrap up here. So basically, we have talked about, this is our first episode of PERF Light.
Do you have a little bit, do you have like a few more minutes?
I do. No, I'm more worried about you. It's late there. Yeah.
Oh, no. Yeah, no.
You
I'm
a night
fine.
owl like I am?
Yeah. No, I'm doing okay. I just wanted to.
Actually, if you have something, if it's something you want me to hear, I need to take a tinkle, Rob. I need a bathroom break.
Yeah, sure.
So
no worries.
if this is
you go and I'll rant.
Yeah. So I'll be back in like a minute or two because I got to wash my hands and all that. All right, I'll be back in a minute too. Rob, take it away. I'm sure you won't say anything that gets that makes Edie call the police on me.
Yeah. So in the Dollhouse episode, Kit and Edie were discussing a few different things, and one of the things that they brought up was the anti-immigration rallies in Australia that they acknowledged were organized, at least in part, by neo-Nazis, which is true because they were. But it was so interesting the way that they. So they're like very worried about rising anti-Semitism, right? And another thread I'm going to bring in is that when Edie was bringing up examples of ways you can critique people and that you can critique people, she mentioned the fact that she criticized Stella O'Malley for platforming pedophile apologists, essentially. And so just keep that in mind. So they're talking about these anti-immigration rallies, and they're talking about how they know that they're organized by neo-Nazis, and but they said, but most of the people going to the rallies, they just want to wave their flag. They just kind of like Australia and they don't want it to change. And they're not really neo-Nazis. And but the communists, they think like us working class people are dumb and that we'll get tricked by the Nazis, and then that's how Nazis happen. But working class people aren't dumb. And it's like, well, is that how the fucking Nazis took over? Were the German working class dumb? Is that how, like, were the Italian working class dumb? Is that how fascism rises? Like the way it rises, people, the mainstream politics dies as in the mind of people as a viable option, and so they look for extremes, and they'll either go left or right. And so that's why it's risky to have large demonstrations organized by Nazis, even if the majority of the participants aren't Nazis, because I was in a trot organization and we organized, say, large demonstrations against the Iraq War. Now, the majority of the people who participated in those demonstrations weren't communist or Trotskyist or whatever, but our organization definitely grew massively after those demonstrations, and we had a lot more power and money and members and things to do things with, even if not even close to the majority of people joined. So, so the idea that you would be fretting that maybe some people who are part of a pro-Palestine demonstration are pro-Islamist, and that this will then lead to the spread of Islamism, like the working class are dumb in that way, and that will definitely lead to a problem. But you can have neo-Nazis organize these demonstrations and it not be a problem, particularly when you're concerned, you're pretending like you're concerned about the rise of anti-Semitism, but people who are concerned about large demonstrations headed by Nazis are just delusional, and you should just ignore them because nothing's ever going to come of it. It's like if you were to say, oh, well, don't criticize GenSpect for platforming pedophile apologists, because it's as if most of the people in the audience are pedophiles, and they're not going to become pedophiles because they listen to a pedophile apologist. So who cares? I see it as a similar kind of thing and a similar blind spot yeah, just talking about how Kit and Edie was saying like communists.
Oh, I can hear you from where I was.
Yeah, yeah, cool, no worries.
I had the volume up.
So yeah, that was part of that, and it was funny too because Edie was saying like, there's the communists, you got to watch out for them, and the radfems are also a problem because they're communist influenced, and they'll choose the revolution over like women every time. Like really, the radfems.
Whereas Edie's inspiration is genocidal Jesus, apparently.
Yeah, yeah, and it's like, what do you mean the revolution? There hasn't been. There's not even a prospect of a revolution. That choice isn't like a thing. Yeah. Another thing they were mentioning was there was a scandal in Australia called the Children Overboard scandal. So back in the day, like 90s, like to early 2000s, most of the refugees like come from Indonesia down to Australia by boat. And a few boats had like sunk. And there was a incident where a boat had sunk, and the media and particularly the like conservative government had started this lie saying the refugees had like thrown their children into the water to basically like make the army pick them up, and then when the army picked them up they would get like on board kind of thing. So it's basically a way to say like these people don't give a fuck about their own kids even. They're like subhuman animals. But Kit brought this up as like an example of when she first noticed that the Australian left had gone pro-Muslim. They never really like explore it much beyond that. It was just kind of like accepted on faith that like opposing the complete dehumanization of women and their children was accepting their religion. Like it's like saying that like an anti-apartheid demonstration is pro-Zulu. Like just because you think people deserve human rights or they're not subhuman doesn't mean you also subscribe to their religious beliefs. Anyway, I'm just
you expect them to not just. I mean, we're always going to be more friendly to information that confirms our bias. Yeah, but. I would encourage people, you can find books and you can look at, it's like, what is this Islam thing? Like, and like, there's only one Islam, like there's only one Christianity or one, whatever. It's so stupid. It's like ignorance, fear and fantasy thrive in ignorant spaces. Go and educate yourself about what this actually is. Both, you could look, if you want to know the history of it, fine. You can look at a historical, there's historical accounts of Islam. You can look at there's theological accounts. There's political economic ones. There's, Karen Armstrong, I think, who was actually a nun, and she left the habit or the nunnery and she got married. But she has these great books. At least I thought they were pretty good. I read them when I was in the Levant. About one God. Basically, she has a kind of a sociological, kind of a historical sociological comparative analysis of the three monotheistic religions. So Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. Educate yourself. I know enough not to be freaked out by Islam any more than I'd be freaked out about Christianity or about Judaism. Although the Zionists are crazy. I mean, but that's a political ideology, but
also there's a massive double standard
that obviously uses religion because there are religious fanatics. You want to talk about this is the thing. You want to talk about if you're against religious fanaticism and you're not talking about those crazy people in Israel and the Christian Zionists like Mike Huckabee and Edie here, then please, you're a hypocrite. Yeah. And that's the thing, is that it's easy, of course, it's easy to note hypocrisy in others and yourself, but it's like, Jesus, the hypocrisy is off the charts. Yeah. And that they don't have to see it. They refuse to see it. It just gets to the point where you peak and you're like, whatever. So I'm the same place. I'm just as peaked, or more peaked, with these ladies than I am with the crazy TRA people.
Yeah.
I mean,
I got a quote here from Kit that was from the episode. She says, if we instituted any other religion like Catholic fundamentalism or anything else, violently waging war in a section of the globe, I don't see how we would say that was freedom. It's like, that's exactly what Zionism is.
Yeah.
Like, and Edie is saying that it's freedom, that it's like the only hope that the Jews have. Yeah.
No, they don't know. I just think that the most generous I can be is that they've just been fully propagandized and aren't aware of it. But I think, but it gets to a point. I can't speak to Kit. I don't know enough. But with Edie, I think that she hangs on to this. She gets something out of it. Yeah. She doesn't want to. She doesn't want to change. She doesn't love debate. She's not open-minded. No, it's bullshit. Bullshit.
Yeah.
But so that's all I can say there. So just to wrap up a bit, this is our first PERF flight. Do you have anything else you want to say before we?
No, that's everything.
Before we round third base and go to home. Let's see. Let me see if I can find my. Sorry, I'm just trying to find my slides. So what's going on? Do you think have the cops contacted you about your evil meme?
Yeah, not yet. I think I've escaped so far. The grievous bodily memeing that I did.
No, crazy. So Palestinian excluding radical feminists, femalist frauds and fiends. So feminist Edie there would be a good example. We started with her only not because she has the largest platform, although she's perhaps only Kelly J. Keane is more committed, if a gambler's fallacy was a person, I think that you would have
like sunken cost fallacy,
and Edie would be but there's front runners. I mean, there's a whole gaggle of these ladies.
And the thing is, they were mocking at the end of their thing. They're like, none of the far right money has come in, none of the Zionist money has come in, and it's like, well, organize it, you dipshits. Like, wouldn't need to do anything extra. You are doing exactly what is required of a Zionist influencer. You won't let even the smallest criticism of Zionism come onto your pages. If you're not getting paid, it's your fault.
Well, and also, I mean, that's the thing, and that's neither here nor there. But we know that the Israel is panicked, and there go also those who are interested in Israel maintaining that imperial outpost colony. Are panicked about how they're hemorrhaging support, because the cat's out of the bag. People are seeing this project for what it is, and you can't put lipstick on that pig. So they are going all out, Israeli money and Zionist billionaires and millionaires and all this stuff. Major offensive on the information front. Yeah,
the $7,000 a post thing is real.
Yeah, it's real. And they said it. They said we bought. There's a reason why they sold TikTok, American TikTok, or TikTok in America, to that crazy Zionist billionaire who also wants to. Who's also one of these digital ID people. He's a peach. Right. I can't remember his name at the moment, but his name. Anyway, but so whatever. If they're not getting paid, that's on them. Or if they just like it because they get the pat on the head. Or because Kelly J. Keane, she got retweeted by Elon Musk when she was out with her. When she was out with her hanging out with Tommy Robinson, or what's his name? Stephen Yaxley Lennon is his actual name, but he had to working class it up a bit, and he just got back
trans working class.
Yeah, he just got back from his brainwashing tour.
Yeah.
Or glazing
Ritual
tour
humiliation.
in Israel, where I'm sure also part of that visit is, hey Tommy, why don't you look at the video? Why don't we have a file in your hotel room? Why don't you give that a little look? Like the Blackmail file. I'm sure that's part of the tour that goes on there, allegedly. You know. So femalist, the PERF femalist is Kelly J. Keane. Frauds and fiends, because it could be men and women. It could be men as well. So Colin Wright,
Graham
Douglas
Linehan,
Murray, Konstantin Kisin. I mean, they sound like they summer in Netanyahu's colon. I mean, the stuff they say. Anyway, so I think that's just so next, that's all for me. Feminism is Zionism. I'm working on that article now, and it's pretty much writing itself, I gotta tell you. The only thing I kick myself for is I can't believe I didn't see it sooner. But anyway, what do you got going on, Rob?
I don't know. This was kind of like pulled me out of retirement for a little bit.
I should say I will put the link in there on my channel to Rob's response to the Dollhouse. You should. It's good. It's really well done, and the tone that's like the up and down of the emotionality of it was chef's kiss. Rob.
Oh, thank you very much. No, I liked it too. I should get into more of that. I'm hoping to do a podcast at one point with a friend in IRL. So that should be fun. And you'll see that on Rubble of Empires.
Cool. And who should we do next? Who should our next perf flight be on? Should it be on KJK? Should it be on Blonde Ambition?
Probably.
Should we do her?
Who else could it be?
Well, it could be her, and then also like Aja and DJ Lippy. Those. That dynamic duo.
Yeah. They would be a good one. They probably need their own episode. Someone told me that DJ Lippy's like a uni graduate.
Apparently she graduated I can't remember where it was, but gold something, I can't remember the name, but anthropology of all things.
Right. And it's like, how is this working? Like, there's all this trans working classness that all these people do. Like Kelly J. Keane, is like, oh, I'm a bit rough around the edges, and I'm bold, so I'm basically working class. And
she's culturally working class. Yeah.
There's all this kind of, and not that it even matters or makes your opinions more valid. But it's also this weird thing of working class doesn't necessarily mean you're poor. The whole point of
it also doesn't mean that you're a racist.
That's their other thing. Anytime you criticize something they do, you hate the working class. And it's like, no, those people are just fuckheads. Probably not add some more swear words to the end of the stream before.
Yeah, sorry, people. Adult content. Not that kind.
Well, it's 2:30 here, so
machine.
All the kids are.
No, I always do that whenever I'm editing my streams. The last 15 minutes, I'm always like, Terry, you should have just called it a day 15 minutes before. Kind of circling the airport,
Yeah. Well, we didn't get a intro discussion beforehand, so I feel like we're kind of doing that now. But I'll well,
no one's being forced to watch us,
No,
there's
true.
no
not until the caliphate. Not until the jihadist caliphate is implemented, and then everyone will be forced to watch.
And
It'll be the only thing you'll be able to see out of your burqa slots.
Yeah, I just want to say trademark on Hamas Fangirl, because that will be my OnlyFans side hustle. And if I was younger, I just want to keep that in case I decide to have like a
midlife crisis,
midlife crisis punk band. I'll call my band. I'll call my garage band Hamas Fangirl.
Arab Whisperer will open for Hamas Fangirl.
Yeah, there you go. Non-consensual debate.
Yeah.
Just remember, kids, that like sex, debate should be consensual. God, oh my God, these ladies. Okay, Rob, take care. Thank you very much. And our next PERF flight, we will do Kelly J. Keene. Yeah?
Cool. All right.
Awesome.
I'll see you
take
later.
Care, brother from
Thanks,
another. And let's see how much good trouble we get into. Yeah?
Yeah.
They called me. They said that I'm a lesbian and I made up my husband. I'll be like, dance, monkey, dance. Okay, take care.
All right, see ya.
Bye. All right, so, I hate when it goes big. So that was our first PERF flight with my brother from another, Rob from Rebel of Empires. We talked a bit about what we mean by PERFs, Palestinian exclusionary radical feminists, and their syndrome. Anyway, and our first spotlight was on Edie Wyatt, who we're calling, in quotes, as a figuratively, not literally, the Arab whisperer. And then also had to bring in Kit Kowalski because she's her partner in was it Welcome to the Dollhouse. So that got a bit salty, but it's been an interesting couple of years and I'm peaked. I've had it with the femmes. I've had it with the fash femmes and the Zio femmes and the imperialist femmes and all of that done. And also I'm still working on my critique of feminism / Feminism is Cooked series. Please check that out. On the best place to get all of that, especially the written material as well as clips from podcasts, is on my Morbid Symptoms Substack. And the links to that will be in the outro slides. Thank you for tuning in. Please do like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching, hate watching, etc. I appreciate that. And when Edie, I'll just say, hi, girl. You're welcome to come on Morbid Symptoms and engage in debate whenever you want. Just give me a couple days notice and we'll do it, girl. Okay, take care, everyone. See you next time.